Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
We all be is on the have on the one and only, the incomparable, truly beyond category, Dr. Randy Short. You can give us what he heard and put his spin on the current news cycle that we are in right now. How you doing tonight, sir?
Well, I mean, that's a line from Restucia from Norbert, but I guess I'm okay. You're much too kind. I'm just me, my brother. Man, this was an incredible last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I mean, can't you see Trump's going to win? As long as his ass doesn't go off to war, the Democrats, I mean, damn. and Kamala and Cory Booker, I guess we could make a movie on them. They would be called the Keystone Coons. They're just, I mean, damn, they're just ridiculous. I mean, Cory Booker speaking Spanish. Maybe that's what he said to his boyfriend if he got one that speaks Spanish. I thought he liked Anglo dudes. Or maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Let me take that back. Let me tell you, the debates were a joke. Reparations, that was a joke too. And in fact, since I'm on this subject, you know, I used to work with Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I worked with Danny Glover.
Mm-hmm.
And Ta-Nehisi Coates, oh my God, you know, if you're going to go on the news, dude, you're going to be in the world, and you're making enough money at Atlantic, I know you got a dental plan where you can get your teeth clean. Dude looked like he's making sandcastles with his teeth. There was so much tartar in there. Tartar control, tear control, coon control. He won't use that. Believe that. Okay. I mean, the thing is, Ta-Nehisi, they were mad at me for an article that I wrote back in 1997 where I was basically, the article, I wrote one thing, but they changed the title, and the title of the article was written in March of 1998, and it said, homosexuality equals to race. And, you know, Ta-Nehisi and them all hated me for simply saying that being black was who you are and your sex is what you do. The reason I'm setting that up is if 21 years ago you had an attitude against someone overstating the obvious, you're a promosexual of some kind. Okay, let's just hope that it's not like, you know, physical. Now, that's one. Number two, Ta-Nehisi Coates bitched out the whole reparations movement by equating black folk getting paid for slavery to gay folk being able to get married. See how that dude organizes stuff? I'm wondering how he organized his sheets. Okay? Because me getting paid for my ancestors that were slaves into the 1920s down in Georgia, and I mean that, has nothing to do with whether they ate cooch and they were female or kissed titties and they were female or, you know, were messing with bobbing apples and so forth. Okay, I'm just saying what it is. But Ta-Nehisi, so you see how they put him up there to be the spokesperson for black people. Most folks don't know who he is. In fact, he doesn't know who he is. And by the way, I was talking about reparations at Howard. I was in the Cobra chapter at Howard. Mm-hmm. Again, like I said about Yvette Carnell, we couldn't, these folks who were semi-millennial ones wouldn't even let us talk to them about anything. They're so full of themselves. Now they're the spokespeople, folks who, you know, shy of this stuff. No. So Ta-Nehisi didn't even finish his degree at Howard. I'm not saying that you have to have a degree, but I want you to tell me, anybody you know that's dropped out of school that gets a high position in a white publishing house or a major publication like Atlantic Monthly without there being some sort of inside game for white supremacy. You tell me that. And I was at Howard when his ass dropped out. And he's smart enough to complete a degree, do a course, but he didn't even have to get a degree. Let me tell you, you ask anybody this in journalism, I know there are people all over the country that have completed their degrees in journalism. They can't even find anything closely related to their field with their degrees, probably with doctorates in their field. How does someone drop out, not even get the bachelor's and be at the top of everything? Except for he's been strategically moved in place by white power and white supremacy to bamboozle us. And when you get tired of living in America, he doesn't move to the Caribbean or Africa. He moves to Paris, France. Not that I'm knocking that, but, and Paris is okay, especially if you live in the white areas. Hell, if you live in the black areas, and the Banoués, the Black Project and Arab Project areas. And I'm not hating, I'm just saying, and he went from the hilltop, where he was under the gay editor that hated me named Steve Gray. We call him Steve Gay. Dude hated me anyway. And then he went to the city paper, which is like a super pro-LGBTQ paper in D.C. I call it the shitty paper. And then he went to the Village Voice. Well, Greenwich Village, well, what's that? Should be called Sodomite Village, because that's what it is in New York. And then you end up at the Atlantic Monthly. Tell you something. Let's be honest. You don't move like that without someone owning you. Same thing about the casting couch in Hollywood, or for that matter, the casting couch in rap. How many pillows did one bite to be able to be the one that speaks for us? Especially when we didn't put you up, we didn't build you up. Just saying. Now let's do Danny Glover. The dude looked like Curious George on psychotropic drugs with Down syndrome. I mean, he was just embarrassing. I mean, come on, Danny Glover. You need a nap or a white woman, something to wake you up, because you weren't. And then they had the little weak preacher in there, and I bet you he has a rainbow flag outside his church, probably a rainbow flag up his ass. I mean, they had all these weak people that nobody black knew and didn't want to know except for Danny Glover. And all he is like basically Rochester when he's in, what's that, Lethal Weapon? Basically, you're the lawn jockey for the white dude. That's what he's best known for, right? And wasn't he in the movie Predator?
Yeah, I do Predator too. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and he is a predator too, selling us out. If you didn't want a damn check, then take your ass off of the thing. Don't come speak. I want a check, and I had family free. I just found I was in the National Archives Friday, because I took these students down. We have a summer youth employment project, and I'm trying to teach these kids that they're systematically poisoning tens of thousands of black people in D.C. with lead. And I found a government document, and there's a congressional document to prove it, that they're killing us here. And I'm trying to wake up some folks so we can raise some hell and also get paid. That's what I said, brother. We're going to do something together. When I go in and see the state's attorney and tell him, look, Negro, you want to cut down on the violence. Well, why not take the damn lead out the water and out the air? Let's do some shit that Congress mandated that y'all do. And if y'all can't get the word out, pay us to do it. Shit, we can get some palm cars. We don't even have to spend a whole lot of money. Get rid of the overhead, put it in our pocket. Anyway. Whew, Jesus, help me. Help me to come down on these coons. Amen. Something God help me, use me. Let me be a vehicle to punish coons. Brother, just bear with me. When I think about people like Danny Glover getting $18 million from the late first black Venezuelan president that I know of, why didn't he make that damn film on Toussaint Louverture? If you can't make a movie about black people for $18 million, what part of Tyler Perry making them for $7 don't you get? And he makes them in Atlanta. And I know just the money he spends on lube for the cast and extras, I know that's a lot of money to make a movie in Atlanta. Probably buying retrovirals, too, for everybody. You know, okay, we're going to give everybody a test before y'all have the orgy, before we do the next scene. Okay, cut. Right. If Tyler Perry can make movies for $7 million in Atlanta, Danny Glover should have been able to make a movie for $18 million in the Dominican Republic or Colombia or anywhere else in the world where the dollar goes a long way. Why did he make it? Why did he go to the Jews and beg the people in Hollywood who hate his guts, hate our guts, who told him they needed a hero? What kind of white hero are you going to get in Haiti? Someone that didn't rape the underage slaves? I mean, that's not a hero. You're not supposed to rape people. So where's this movie? If you can't handle $18 million that someone gave you to do with what you, as you saw fit, how the hell are you going to tell me you don't want a check for us who've never had $18 million given to us? Not $18,000. Nigga, get out my face. You old. And you're a communist. And I work for Danny Glover, too. And I'm going to just tell you some stuff. I got to dog these people. When you live in D.C., this is why D.C. folks always talk about people and put them down. You have to live with them. Let me tell you something. I worked for TransAfrica, which he was head of, for about a year. And one of the things that pissed me off was I was brought in to help establish a thing that was supposed to be called the TransAfrica Monitor. That was supposed to be a hard-hitting periodical pushing the Pan-Africanist black agenda. And they're going to get college students, people like me who didn't give a damn. Well, we started writing, and I was writing about reparations and other stuff and what white folk had done to us. And you know what happened? Danny Glover bitched us, punked us out, and decided not to publish the damn thing. Right? Now, if you won't even publish what people genuinely feel, where we had footnotes, documents, and all of that, how the hell is that nigga credible to me talking about reparations in a room full of white people that don't give a damn anyway, who aren't going to give him nothing? His damn lazy-eyed self. I wonder if he had double Bell's palsy during the thing. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm going to kick his ass. I mean, it's just... And yes, I want a check. Cut the damn check. Cut my deceased relatives a check. Give Kunta Kinte a check in a prosthetic foot. We want everything we can get. And then some. And I don't care who doesn't like the way I see it. And I have conservative friends, racist friends and associates, and they ask me, do I want reparations? Hell yes. Anyone that doesn't want me to get paid can't be my friend. I don't want to be around you, little racist ass person or self-hating coon. You don't want me to get a check, I don't like you. Silly ass Julianne Malveaux had a lot of makeup on because she's got like a lot of wrinkles in her forehead. She used to not have that. I had to go off on her. This same woman was demanding that black men pay checks for child support back at the Million Man March. Now, you want to check for half of these heifers who don't even know who they screwed to make these babies. You felt black women needed a check from black men, and I won't even disagree. But you took your yellow ass up in there and said, you don't want a check? Is that why they fired you from Bennett College, or wherever you didn't stay? And you didn't get any checks for them. You couldn't raise any money. Notice Bennett College looks like it's going to close its doors. It really began to go down after I Don't Need a Check, Julianne Malveaux was there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kicking. She knows who I am. And I called her the spiritual daughter of Sapphire 22 years ago. 20, woo. I did this in 95. How long ago was that? 24 years ago. So I stand by. I called you a spiritual daughter of Sapphire trashing black men. So they put her up there, and she's boule. She's boule. Yes, she is. They were boule. That was a boule sinking reparations. This is why I don't like coons. I'm a Christian. I'm not supposed to hate anybody, but these coons have pushed me to this, Ron. These coons have pushed me. I mean, I'm about to snap. Okay, so that whole reparations thing was a fraud. We knew it was going to be a fraud. We have to keep saying we want a check, and anyone that doesn't want you to get a check can't be your leader. And the only talking head they need to be is in bed with whichever white person they're swirling with. Get off the TV set if you don't want us to get a check. And notice Jesse Jackass and Al Sharpton, all these people were quiet. And everybody knows Jesse wants a check. He got one for Dr. King getting killed. Why wouldn't he want one when all the rest of us got one too? He probably, and his son needs a check, probably just to get, his meds. You see how he looked like Super Chicken, having been tased at the Aretha Franklin funeral? You look bad, Jesse Jr. You need to stay your ass in the house. Was the white heifer worth it? So what? She spoke Spanish. Maybe you should have pawned her off to Cory Booker. He needs a woman every time he runs for a new office to make people think he's going to get married. Also, let me trash him while I'm at it. Common. My prediction, Common's going to come out the closet once his book gets hot. I mean, this Pride Month has just made niggas go crazy.
Well, you heard about Lil Nas X, right? Lil Nas X with that Old Town Road.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the X is on his butthole. Okay.
Oh, wow.
They've been punks for years. And you know what? I keep telling people, I love James Baldwin. I love Little Richard. But they never, ever sold us out. No matter how many blowjobs they gave or received, they never sold black people out. These new gay people are the biggest lawn jockey sellout traders, buck dancing, homoerotic coons. They're the biggest traders I've ever seen in our community, male and female. I haven't said anything about these little lesbians, titty licking broads, who are always selling us out like that little nasty one up in Chicago. Did you hear as many as 40 white billionaires met with her within the last 3-4 weeks, and they offered her $1 billion to help end the violence in the black communities on the South Side, and she told them no. Wow. She needed to think about it. She didn't need to think about eating a white woman's cooch. What do you mean you have to think about getting some money for black folks that are broke? This is a nasty broad. And she's turned her back on all the little coon Baptist preachers. I'm a Pentecostal. We always had better music than the Baptists. This should all be slow. Right. I mean, it's just despicable, this woman. In fact, Joe Biden is considering running with the black woman. It's either going to be Kamala or Lori Lightfoot. I hope it's not Maxine Waters, because the national deficit will double just paying for her facelifts, so she don't break all the cameras in the press corps. Yeah, I'm riding her, man. By the way, notice Sheila Jackson Lee, who looks like Rasputia from Norbit, she said on Al Sharpton's show that money had nothing to do with reparations. Why don't she take her banana boat ass back to Jamaica then? And it's a lesbian named Evelyn Malcolm who put her bloated, Rasputia-looking ass in that congressional office down in Houston.
Okay.
The whole community that she runs is being gentrified. She's the useless, nasty, vicious, chunky, fat girl. In fact, God help her, get her a new hairpiece. All the money she's getting under the table, she can't go to one of those Asian stores and take a bribe from them and put something else up on her head after all these years. And, and all I could say, if I had to give her an award, she's the only politician I know male or female, with the voice deeper than Melvin Franklin from The Temptations.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, whenever you hear a deep voice, you know I mean, I don't know if she's taking testosterone pills or if her voice is just naturally deep like that. Why is it that women, like, it preaches all, God? Women don't talk like that. I don't know, maybe they got too many vagina fur balls in their throat. It doesn't make their voice lower. Okay. Yeah, I'm riding. I mean, I can't stand Sheila Jackson Lee. I'm so mad at black folks for letting these coon Democrats who won't speak up. The police are back to beating and shooting and killing people. And again, these people are silent, and they have the majority in the Congress. It's always say, well, we can't. And that Negro, that Uncle Ben's with the receding hairline Negro, Clyburn from South Carolina. I mean, a fish fry. I mean, next thing they're going to do is have a watermelon eating contest and have all the people come down and meet with black Democrats. How ridiculous. And why does a fish have to be fried? That's so stereotypical. He is such a disgrace. And that Negro is such a two-faced liar. He pushed for that Gay Equality Act so folks could screw our kids. And when it came to a vote, Clyburn's the only black in the Congress who didn't cast a vote. But he knew it was going to pass. He's a coward. He didn't do that because he knew he couldn't go back to South Carolina with that fag bill around his neck. Punk nigga. Wow. And why all the black schools closing in South Carolina and North Carolina? You got, what's that, Butterfield, the one that looks like the Frito Bandito without the sombrero?
Okay.
He does look like that. I am the Frito Bandito. And he's for illegal immigration in sanctuary cities like the Frito Bandito would be, and nothing for us. Now, let me get off reparations and let's do the debate.
All right.
First and foremost, Kamala Harris, I don't know if she's watched too many of the Lizard People movies, and that stuff has sort of gotten into her brain, it's gotten to her neck. If you were really black, you wouldn't have Komodo dragon neck in your 50s. Black women don't crack that early. You're not black. I agree with Donald Trump Jr., who, by the way, looks like a quadroon. So, in fact, Donald Trump Jr., if Alton Maddox is right, Donald Trump Jr. would know what a black person is because he's one.
Well, his daddy's orange. Well, his daddy ain't really white. So go ahead,
No, what I'm trying to say, Alton Maddox called me all upset, telling me that Donald Trump is from Tennessee, not from New York, and that a black man screwed Donald Trump's mother, and the father had the black man lynched, and I think got rid of the woman. So
his father was a legendary Klansman, and the Klan was started in Tennessee.
Yeah, so no, this is what Alton said, because I was looking at Donald, and isn't it interesting that Donald Trump Jr., if he's passing, if he's like a quadroon or octroon or something like that, he actually knows what it means to be black, even if it's remote. He snapped out on Kamala that he was tired of people pretending to be black Americans. This is because his hair is jet black. You don't get hair that color, beard that color, unless you've got African recent ancestry. That's just a fact. That's why the Italians and the Spanish and Portuguese and the Turks, people with a little bit of African, their hair tends to be darker. It's not as blonde. Think about that. I know folks that look like Donald Trump Jr. looks like my great-great-grandfather. I'll send you a damn picture.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of some of these people passing. We need to out Donald Trump Jr. Now, you know what happened? That would really upset people if we said that Donald Trump was the second black president in the country. You know how many Negroes would be jumping off the World Trade Center? Man, hell no, we'd rather have Osaga than him. Well, without the KY jelly, I'd have Obama. Right. Anyway, Kamala Harris is not a black American. They're right. It's a fraud. She's an Indian. She's a Dougla. She's mixed white and Indian, and she's not black. And I don't care. Indians were segregated. Black people won civil rights for the Asians and everybody else. And like everybody else, she stabbed us in the back. She's a lying, two-faced, hypocritical bitch. She's more in the states' rights than Joe Biden is. He passed Biden's law, and that bitch enforced it against the state law of California and the federal law of the United States. That's what a fanatical states' rights asshole this bitch is. Yes, I'm calling her a bitch. And an AKA bitch if you Greek. Excuse me. I hope that's wrong. Whatever it is. Jive shit. In fact, let me tell you something. Let's do Kamala for a minute because I'm pissed.
Okay.
When Kamala went to Howard and finished the year before I did, the Caribbean Students Association had a very charismatic leader. They would call Black Americans Yankee niggers. In their meetings, I know because I used to go to them. Do you think Kamala complained? Hell no. And the Kamala type that were called Browns were preferred over the dark-skinned Jamaican types. You get where I'm coming from? Like the Rita Marley, those are outcasts, even though they're the majority. And I'm telling you, the Caribbeans, the Jamaicans in particular, look down on Black Americans at Howard. In fact, I may have had one of the same counselors or friends that Kamala had that tried to prevent me from finishing Howard. She was wife to the ambassador from Jamaica. She was one of those Asian black mixes named Miss Bryan.
Okay.
They hate Black American people's guts. Take your ass back to Jamaica, eat some ackee, and leave. You hate me, get out of my country. Jamaica's a paradise if you could make the shit work. You only got 2 million people. There's plenty of space. Go home. You got a superior British education. Wonderful. Apply it to fixing up your country and get the fuck out. I'm not saying that. Now, look, since I talked to you last, I found my dad's 2010 census identification. Now, I haven't seen it. I got to look. I'm going to look Friday to find out if it's true that my father's grandfather's a Jamaican. If it's so, I'm still an American black nigga, okay? I'm from here. I mean, I was so unhappy. I said, damn, Dad, why just a black American now? I'm not mad at Jamaica, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against the cool Jamaicans.
Okay.
But the little hateful ones that are stabbing each other over in England, because there are no Black Americans to walk on to succeed in England. So their asses are in check there. That's real talk. The Black Americans have been the rug or the welcoming mats that people piss, shit, and wipe their feet on to make it in America. We need to stop all this. And the first person we need to make an example of is Kamala Harris, or Coon Mala. And I don't know, did I send you the video with the white dude riding Cory Booker's back at Oxford?
No, you didn't send me.
And like this dude was, oh, you want me to send that to you? Please share this. I'm going to do it right now. So you see him, and they're dancing to Jewish klezmer music, and this dude is bouncing on Cory Booker's back like he's enjoying the ride.
Wow.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
That video, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. The song called Relax. When the first big, remember that? And they had the little video where the people were riding each other's backs. They didn't have, because they didn't want to like get blocked on MTV, the people had clothes on, but they were symbolizing getting screwed in the behind. That's why the people on each other's backs.
Wow.
I didn't make the video. I never bought it. It was on the radio. That's what the hell does Frankie Go to Hollywood mean? But again, I went to Howard. All the queens says, well, they are anti-nuclear war and gay. I'm just telling you, okay? Don't hate me.
Just a message.
Anyway,
yes,
I want to see this. You're going to get this in a second. I want you to see this. So you can get mad at me. You can blame me for enlightening you. Here it is. It says, watch Cory Booker party on Pirium at Oxford in the early 90s. It's on its way to you. I want you to take a few seconds to look at this with the white dude riding his back. Hold on, it's on this way. Hold on. And look at Corey, so happy to have a white dude on his back. He probably wish it was Obama. Hold on, it's on this way. Hold on. Okay, now I want you to open it up. I just sent it to you. Now,
Okay.
I want you to tell the people that you see a white dude in a clown suit riding Cory Booker's back, bouncing around like he's getting him some. I'm like, whoa, Cory. Looking like a gay mulatto, Mr. Clean. Nobody's supporting his ass. And you see how Biden called him boy without calling him boy? No, he chumped Cory. Cory had an opportunity to establish that at least he had one testicle left, and he showed he had none. And probably has a rectal plug after Joe Biden broke it off in him.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I seen it.
And now, but look at how Kamala came at him like a construction worker who was having to compete with illegals, getting paid less money. Now, watch. All of them are going to turn on her. One thing I will say, I did kind of like her going off on him. She earned that Willie Brown stripper pole tip. When she went on to shank him, because I can't stand Kamala typically. We need to remember that she kept the black men in jail so they could put out the fires for rich white people. Use black men basically as fire extinguishers, as sprinklers. It's disgusting. She's disgusting. And Cory Booker, all these black people dying because they can't get access to insulin. Who was the person that voted to prevent restrictions on the prices of drugs, limits? Cory Booker. If you're in diabetic shock right now, blame the little bald-headed half-breed wannabe. He's speaking in Spanish. Oh, and let's talk about it. Booty check. Did you see how, let me tell you, black women in South Bend, at least there's some sisters there that are still for the movement. They're not all trying to be feminists, run after white women or run after white men. The sisters shut this dude booty check down. I love it. God, where are the sisters that stand up that aren't like, oh, you're the most loyal constituency? They just, how can I say, they masturbate the sisters so hard how important they are, but they never say how important black men are. That they just run after the damn Democratic Party. But the sisters in South Bend, they turned booty check out, they turned the chief of police out, and they did the National Association of Asinine Colored People, or Asinine Coon People, the NAACP. That woman clowning that Negro there, I loved it. I love sisters when they stand up, like Fannie Lou Hamer. You know, I'm friends with Mother Kalia Clark. I mean, I love her. That's a beautiful lady. The sisters that love their people, that stand up, I'm for them. I'm just against coon feminists. I'm for the real sisters. I just hate coon feminists. I don't like coon brothers. Man, you didn't see booty check get told off? And the woman said, we ain't voting for you. You came here for votes. You came here for votes. Well, you ain't gonna get them. I mean, I mean, he must have felt like a social worker when the snap machine downtown broke and the people were there looking to get their stuff. I mean, those people turned his racist gay ass out. It felt so good. He's done. And we're going to get Biden. I'm going to get Biden's ass for this lynching. I want everybody to pray for Dr. Jahi Issa. He has a court date on the 13th of this month in Delaware. Since I spoke to you, he had a mistrial, but he did win several counts. Hopefully, Dr. Issa will get $1 million or $2 million for his trouble dealing with people in Delaware. We're going to bring it out. It's going to come out. If you work with me, brother, we're going to we're going to bring out that Delaware is one of the most racially backward states in the country, and that's Joe Biden's power base. Joe Biden hates black people's guts. Trump might hate him too, but he hasn't spent the last 50 years dogging black people. Joe Biden has. One person, it's true. He didn't let him stay in the house, but you know what? I got to say this about Trump, and I'm not defending him because I'm telling folks we need our own party. I want a black party. I want to be able to vote for you or vote for somebody that fights for us. But in the interim, we got to punish the Democrats for 50 years of nothing. If 50 years after Dr. King was shot, the best that we have is John Lewis. Damn. In fact, I figured out why John Lewis got his ass beat at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. You know how they see him pushing him down when they're down there praying?
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's probably looking at the Alabama trooper's dick. That's why he didn't move fast enough. He got beat so bad. See, John, you got to get your mind out the gutter, dude. I mean, flame when you're off the battlefield. You don't fraternize with the enemy. You see how John Lewis is there? I'm wondering, was he looking at the dude's groin? Because you see how John Lewis's head is down? I'm like, dude, you should be looking him in his face. Now, either it was some homoerotic stuff or he didn't have any dignity and he didn't look a white man in the eye. And he still doesn't look him in the eye. And in fact, for all you that look like John Lewis, I don't give a damn. Okay. You know, John Lewis introduced a new bill, Every Child Deserves a Loving Family. And all it is the great pedophile, rape black baby boy and girl booty or vagina giveaway, courtesy of a civil rights veteran by the name of Uncle John Tom Lewis. You didn't hear about this bill? Oh, yeah, John Lewis put it on the floor. Now, I'll tell you something. There's now a movement. I don't know if you heard about it down in Tennessee, but there's now a movement, and Ta-Nehisi Coates started it. He helped by announcing it. They're saying that gay people are owed reparations for their pain and suffering. Now, if the Human Rights Campaign decides to fight for reparations for gays, you know they're going to get it, don't you?
Wow.
And you know who won't get reparations. Why? She'll get it. It'll clear the house. In fact, Joe Biden already promised to make the Gay Equality Act his priority, to make gays the new blacks, and to give reparations to the sodomites and leave us behind. That's Joe Biden's plan. If you're going to vote for Joe Biden, basically you're nothing but a sodomite cheerleader. So you can either sit your ass home and have some dignity, or you can take the Samson option, which is the one I'm going to take. I'm voting against the party that let this happen. Do I like either party? No. It's not an orgy. This is survival. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Now, back to the debate, I got to say this. Kamala Harris has had her little Omarosa moment. By the way, you heard that after Omarosa for lying about how much money she made.
Oh, really?
They're going to punish her. Well, she's going to need all that book money. It's going to end up going to the government. That's okay. Well, maybe she can, give some of that silicone that inflated her boobs and get some money back because she's going to have to pay these people. She's lied. Whoo! And, with Trump's people, they were going to be vicious. Anyway, she should have expected that. Now, Kamala, for a moment, she got in on Biden. And this is something that black women need to understand because they don't get it. Black men are a greater threat to white men than black women are. So black women get away with shit from day to day to day, and they think the world is set up that way. And, if you're like Kamala, you pulled yourself up by your G-string, and you swirled and twirled, and you got a beard white husband, because I'm wondering about her and why you never see her husband. Is she ashamed of him, or are they just fronts for each other, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, let me just say this, that white men, once they get threatened, back in slavery, when white men were threatened, like Harriet Tubman got hit in the head with the lead weight, when black women were really fighting for something, like Fannie Lou Hamer, they beat you just like you're a man. They don't even recognize your womanhood. Black womanhood only became important when they wanted to weaponize it against black men. They have no respect for black womanhood. They never have. In fact, they have less respect for black womanhood than the biggest sociopathic serial killer rapists in Rikers Island. And that's despicable, because I want all those brothers strung up. So Kamala got that rise off of kicking Biden in the ass. And what did they come back and do, which I agree with? Started saying that Kamala Harris wasn't really black, which was true. And then Scarborough, the little bigot that comes on MSNBC, started saying that Kamala's going to let Trump win again, and now the liberal whites are turning on Kamala. They're going to come after her ass. Kamala's going to get mugged. She's going to get her ass beat like a sexy woman with Daisy Dukes walking down a deserted highway in West Tennessee. Now, you know what happens. Someone will pull up, don't mind if I do, right? She's going to get dogged. You'll see this happen. And the same liberal people that talked about how articulate and how good she was, they're now mad because they really want Biden to be president, no matter how ridiculous he looks, no matter whether his foot is in his mouth more than his shoes that he wears. They want that person who's a nasty predator. There should be a child safety sticker on his forehead so people know to get gang away from his ass. And so, all he can do for me is drop out the race, register as a predator, and get out of public life. Go away. And get some hair plugs that will stay. If not, get some Gorilla Glue. Put something up there. I mean, it's just, please go away. And he's had more plastic surgery in the last couple of years than Michael Jackson did in a lifetime. I mean, he even looks more evil, more demonic. I mean, now, you notice how his features, they like tighten his eyes and such? I mean, damn. I mean, he must be seeing the same person Joan Rivers did. That person's probably improved. He's done a lot better on him than he did on Joan Rivers, because that was like, woo. Anyway. So that's this debate thing. It's going to happen. And, also, I just want to talk to black folks. When you saw the little black girl who stole the Barbie doll at the dollar store and they're ready to kill a whole black family over a 99-cent doll, there was almost no sympathy. But for that little trifling-ass Mexican who drowned his own daughter, reckless endangerment of a minor, everybody's crying. I mean, come on. If I went to a wave pool with my child without a flotational device, I'd be in court or in jail for child abuse or involuntary manslaughter. That dude's a killer. In fact, the best justice is that his ass died too. I mean, you don't jump in no river with no child. And if life was that bad that you would sacrifice your child to die, you deserve to die anyway. I'm not feeling nothing for folks dying. You don't belong in this country. You come through the normal process. I've got a buddy in North Carolina. He has a multi-million-dollar pain management practice. He's from Ghana. Mm-hmm. Do you realize that he can't get tourist visas for doctors in Ghana to come and study under him for a few weeks and go back? Now, he's generating $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year in sales and revenue, right? But any bastard that wades across the Rio Grande has the right to be here. He can't have visitors because he's black and African. But we're crying over this illegal stuff. No, I'm not. In fact, I almost wish all the pro-sanctuary city people had drowned just like that family did. In fact, the first one, Nancy Pelosi, throw her in there. In fact, she'd probably drown because she'd think the river's brown, looks like Jack Daniels. She'd probably try to slurp it all up and choke. These people, I'm disgusted at black Democrats We need a revolution against these people. We need our own party. I'm hoping that there's a complete destruction of the present Democratic Party leadership. I hope everybody black stays home, or they vote, say fuck it, then vote, and vote for Trump. Not that I want the Republicans to run to Congress, because they're assholes too. But if I had to pick assholes, I'd pick the asshole that we got. We already know that Biden won't do shit for us. He had 8 years with Obama. He didn't make one funeral of anybody black shot. But you know what? Remember, Biden broke the law by flying down, because he's so into gayness, to Orlando when they shot up the Pulse nightclub. And Joe Biden made certain that they only hugged white people when most of the victims in the Pulse nightclub were black and Afro-Latinos.
Wow. Wow.
Pardon me. Fuck Joe Biden. And all the niggas that like him. Y'all ain't shit. He's done nothing for us. All these people who've been destroyed, homeless, and LA and everywhere else with criminal records, that's Joe Biden. You're a traitor to your people if you're looking at him favorably. In fact, if black people want to shut it down and say, y'all got to run someone that's going to do shit for us, but it can't be Joe Biden, they'd be forced to have to pick someone. In fact, they may even dust off Obama, probably give him some Spanish fly and some extends. And say, we're going to give you extends, and we'll even let Michelle go off and be her real self. In fact, she won't even have to wear a retainer in her clothes. Just come back and fool black people to vote for us so we can destroy them with illegals and gayness and give jobs and everything to everybody but them. And anytime Obama won't come out to support Biden, and they're slobbering on each other at Beau Biden Jr., the little punk-ass son of Biden. Yeah, he's a punk-ass. That's why his brother was screwing his wife. I mean, she must have really needed it. Anytime, she couldn't even wait for the body to get in the ground. They were probably humping in the herds. Right?
Wow.
And just, it's despicable. And they're a bunch of cokehead, lying racists. And Beau Biden was supposedly a queen. And he didn't do a whole lot about sex trafficking in Delaware. Because after all, it's a corporate state. These really weird billionaires, they need to see kitty snuff films in order to make deals. So you can have the best presentation, all this stuff, and the guys are bored. I mean, they're not really, I have money. Well, what do you need? Well, I need to see what you're really going to offer us. And what the hint is, where are the naked kids? They brought me here for a business? Who do these people think? This is how deviant these people are. And they were deviant back when we were in physical slavery. Now that we're in psychological, they have to hide it. But you know what? They are bringing it back with the Gay Equality Act and all the other stuff. In fact, I need to just bring it to your attention. Did you hear about one of the funeral homes in Detroit is in the Supreme Court? It's one of the long-serving, it's about 35-year-old black funeral home in Detroit that's really good. And they hired a dude. And this is what I have to say about sellout traitor sexuality coons, where everything is about who's up in your behind or whose cum is in your stomach. Yes, I'm insulting you. There's a black dude that was gay working for a black funeral home. And he's been there 6 years. He decides, I'm tired of coming to work dressed like a man. I want to come to work dressed like a woman. And he proceeds to come to work dressed like a woman. Now, I'm just telling you, I've had 6 people die in the last 3 weeks in my network. The last thing I want to see at a funeral home is a dude dressed up like a woman trying to handle out floral arrangements or something like that. That would really, dude, can't you do that after hours? Do I have to see your tricking uniform to pick a casket out? Really? Come on, if your mama died and a dude had on fake titties and wanted to talk to you about what kind of card and you're like, Really? So what does the man do? He doesn't want to have a problem with business. He agonizes. Okay, selfish, narcissistic, traitor, black sodomites buy into the lie of white people that black folks just hate everybody that's the same sex involved. It's a goddamn lie. He agonized. The guy doesn't want him to lose his job. He doesn't want to get sued. He doesn't want to lose customers. The dude won't stop wearing women's clothes. So he fires him. And the ACLU, the Jews, and the others go after the black man who owns the funeral parlor that's been a pillar of the community, and they want to shut him down because he fired this dude. Now it's before the Supreme Court. And people need to understand something. This whole gay thing will destroy black people. Am I talking about the individual person sucking a dick in the bathroom or a public park? No. I'm talking about public policy and things that will influence how you get money. Basically, it's all gone. It all goes up in smoke or up someone's ass at our expense without any consensus. It's completely unconstitutional. It's undemocratic. It's unbiblical. It's just damn nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're gay and you're for that, you're trading in other countries, and I am not advocating this, but in other countries, if people did this, they would be killing people. They absolutely would. In fact, in D.C., which is one of the gayest places in the world, I don't advocate it. I've never done it, never want anyone to do it. Even when I was in junior high school and I was nobody's fighter, I wouldn't let them bully people that were gay. But there's been an uptick in violence against people that are gay here. Beatings, killings, assaults, because people are sick of this stuff. They can't talk. You can't do this. It's on television. Everything has to be gay. You know, with 2% of the population, why do you get 900% of the attention and everything? It makes people angry. No, and I'm at my cousin's funeral, and the bishop gets up and says he's being threatened by local black pastors of mega churches, threatening him and others that y'all all have to start doing gay marriages and stop criticizing it in black churches or you're going to lose your tax-exempt status. Let me translate that. We coon, Democratic-aligned black preachers are so out to get our money from the government, we're going to become snitches on any pastor that doesn't support the radical sodomite agenda. We're going to snitch on y'all to get y'all shut down. We'll get more members and more money. Does that sound like freedom? Does that sound like freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, pursuit of happiness? Only for the sodomites, none for anybody else. That's insane. I don't have the right to believe in God because somebody needs cum in their tummy. Okay, now I will go a little further. So you got that case, and also I got a call from Ashira, our friend, and she was sharing with me something that y'all need to know. All over the country, basically almost 7 out of 10 drag queens who get murdered in America are black. I think that's awful. And you heard me mention this before. And I've complained, how come this super powerful sodomite movement that you can't even crack a joke and not be destroyed, right? Mm-hmm. You mean, if I say something that you even think was offensive, you'll destroy me even if I wasn't trying to offend you. But if hundreds of people get killed and they have to be black with white cum in their tummy up their ass, you don't care. Isn't that racist? And stupid-ass gay black people, fake-ass black gay people who pretend that these people are their allies, let them get murdered, let them get septicemia, let them get septic gonorrhea that kills in a week and they can't afford the medical care. And does a gay white leadership care? Hell no. Hell no. So, my brother, these gay black trannies crashed the stage of some Pride Day event, trying to raise awareness to the fact that they were being killed. Same people didn't say a damn thing about Ed Buckner killing gay black men in California, right? I guess you have to be trying, you got to wear a wig and have some eyelashes on for your life to matter. It's not enough that you're getting screwed in the booty or you screw people in the booty. You got to like completely be wilded out and trans to count. Let me tell you something. They rushed the stage, brother, and guess what happened? They had the police kick their ass and run them off the stage. Their white allies didn't care about black folk getting killed. See, here's the scam. I saw this at Harvard, my friend. Not that I'm boasting about going there. The same way that the black people are Democrats first and black last, the Republican first and black last, the Catholic first and black last, now you have the gay first, black last. What they're sold in theory is that if you join this thing, you'll be an equal member. A damn lie from hell. From white hell at that. Because when you need something, you're just a nigger, right? Mm-hmm. So their response to these people was to just have the cops kick their ass. And so the gay black people are now in a quandary. I mean, maybe they need to beat up and shoot more before they recognize, hey, wait a minute, you're black. In fact, you're so dirty, even your semen is dark colored. Okay? You folks, there is no black gay community. It's only a black falling apart community, and there's nothing else. And so the white folk aren't there for them when they get killed, when they get AIDS, when they get septicemia, when they're in all these problems. You end up going back to mama and the church and other black people. So all this pride, even a little black stripe and a little gay flag, doesn't mean a damn thing. They're using you as cannon fodder. And just because you spy and you do like that bitch nigga did to that funeral parlor where you allow precedents to be established, destroying black schools, institutions, and everything else like what they're doing to Morehouse and Spelman, once you've done that to your own people, they throw you in the trash.
Mm.
And too few black folks understand their words like dinge queen. Well, dinge in the gay book can be doo-doo or it can be blacks. The blacks equated with shit and the white gay lexicon. If you're a dinge queen, you're a white dude in the black people. Or you're in the shit.
Mm.
Doesn't that sound racist to you?
It sounds like something ain't right.
So, you mean the self-hatred of these loudmouth, dysfunctional black folk, okay, they go for that? That's better than getting called sissy or queen in the black community? I don't think so. I think they're equally insulting, if not more so, from people who are supposed to understand. When you see the cities being gentrified, do white gays make certain that black gays get housing? I'll tell you something. Within the last 2 weeks, worked with another brother, we were able to get a license. Mm-hmm. But when we were being denied the license, I think by Black Butch, and I knew what I have to do is I was going to file a sexual harassment complaint against her. So we got it real fast then. I learned what I knew to be true. In Washington, D.C., a city that is about 50% black, or the lowest number that you'll see that's black is 48%. We're still the majority, which means out of, say, 700,000 people plus about 350,000 are black. Do you know how many people serve on the African American Affairs office for D.C.?
How many?
For 2.
Hmm.
2. I can assure you the gay people probably have 50 to 100. You can't tell me that D.C. is 50% gay. It's not. And who allowed these numbers to be? Black Democrats. I'm not saying that these little self-hating coon Republicans as I call them, they don't like black people either. I'm an honest person. So I'm not saying like one party or the other. I've always said hate both parties and then make the best decision. The best decision is to have our own and force people to seek us out till we figure something out for ourselves. I think that's reasonable. You know, I've been told that's Uncle Tom. What's Uncle Tom about being independent? What's Uncle Tom about having your own? What's Uncle Tom about saying, hell no, cracker, I'll get what I want for myself? How did that become Tom? But sucking the doo-doo out of the behinds of other people that oppress us is being black and progressive. Black Lives Matter and others. How is it?
Good question.
How is staying in, I'm independent. And I've said to Dry Bones, I'll say it to you, I say it to Ray Fauntroy, I'll say it to Judge Joe Brother. Let's have a black party. Let's do it. I don't need to be a candidate. I just join. But where do you find it? You know, I understand people like Malcolm going into Islam. They couldn't find serious, thinking black people the bandwidth to do stuff. You see the storm coming, but as the scriptures say, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Very few people want to stand up. Folk have been trashing Dr. Martin Luther King about how much good sex he had back in the 60s. In fact, well, maybe he was the inspiration for the twist. Whatever. Come on, baby, let's do this. Okay. What I want to say is I hope Dr. King got that and then some. Okay. And I was friends to one of Dr. King's mistresses, and I really liked her. You know, Senator Georgia Davis Powers out of Louisville, who did the book, I Shared the Dream, and I told her you should have called I Tasted the Dream. But anyway.
Is she still around?
No, she died 2013 or 2014, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And then there's one that died in 2017. I hugged and kissed her. She wanted to know why I wanted to take pictures. And actually, if she had been younger, I told him, I want to give you a pussy high five for all that did for Dr. King to motivate him. I mean, that stuff should be a bottled drink that black men can have for courage to stand up. Whatever you have down there to make that dude be willing to see the mountaintop and get shot at for our people. I love you. I just love you. I was just hugging her. And like, why are you doing this? So if I told her, I have so much respect for the cooch you have. It should be up on a wall like a moose head. Uh-huh. This is what you should get brothers to stand up. Dorothy Koch is a beautiful woman. I didn't want him to cheat on Coretta, but, you see how fucked up the kids turned out. Should let you know something was wrong with her. Yeah, I said it.
Is this woman still alive? This other mistress?
No. She died 2017.
Oh, wow.
And so David Garrow, let me tell you what they're doing now. Okay. They're trying to destroy Dr. Martin Luther King so they can make Bayard Rustin the greatest leader because he didn't cheat on his wife, but damn it, he's a pedophile that would have sex with underage white boys in broad daylight in the early 50s. Give me Martin Luther King liking pussy any day. Okay, I don't care who doesn't like it in your audience.
Well, they also claim that he has a daughter with a mistress in L.A. Do you think that's true?
At least he didn't. At least he's pro-life. Now, I gave you a conservative response. Okay. He's pro-life. So I don't care. So what? In fact, I went to school with her. She went to Howard. She was at Howard with us in Kamala.
You talking about the daughter, the last daughter, Dr. King?
Yes, she went to Howard with us. We were trying to look for a woman that looked like Dr. King in a dress, and we never found her, but she was there.
Well, Bernice she was like her daddy. Okay, go ahead.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you were to hook up with her, and she said, "Brother Ron, would you like to hit this coochie in my drawers? I want to take you on a mission of lust and sensuality." Right? Can you imagine if she was to talk like that? That would be really wild, man. So anyway, let me stop. So,
I can show you are next level, man. I just wow.
We are wicked. We're being bad today. We're in rebellion. This is a rebellion against the boule. We hate you niggas. Y'all sold us out, you traitors. We're gonna get y'all. You coons, understand there's a revolution in the land. Oh my God, Brother Ron, I hope, we got to work together so your show's out. I love Professor Black Truth and Black Authority, but your voice got to be out there too. They messing with you. You need to tell your audience that they're hiding your show, your platform. You need
There's a lot of stuff going on. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You need to send me because I haven't even been able to find. I love when people what happened to Ron. It says I used to I did everything I was supposed to do. They've pulled. And I hope it's not me. I hope it's not me being on your platform, because I've had other people say the minute you come on.
But is it your fault though? I don't see why you the problem though. It should be you should be able to say what you want to say. You stand by your words. You've been consistent.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. And as I said, I'm a little broke nigga living at home with mom. So what are you afraid of? Other than the truth.
But our people, we get punished for that. You get punished for telling the truth. That's
what we'll keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Wasn't that cool the way Farrakhan said, "My weapon is in my mouth." Remember he said that? This truth that's in my mouth. The Jewish people fear the truth in my mouth.
Yeah, something else.
That was cool. That was so cool. I was like, it was so cool. I said, Scott, you know what? I'm not in the nation, and I don't always agree with the minister, but God, I love listening to him talk. I know I have friends who can't stand Farrakhan. I love listening to Farrakhan talk and the way he describes stuff. And I could imagine him talking to Kamala. Can you imagine? Mm-hmm. Sister Kamala, those things you did with Brother Willie, you need to move beyond. The adultery that you committed, sister, you can buy a lifetime bean pie, and we'll take care of it. We'll save your reputation, but you've got to move beyond Willie. He was a married man that you were screwing, Kamala. You knew that he had a wife. You knew that he had a public life. You knew it, Kamala. But still, you wanted to be up in the big house with this Jewish husband that you have now. I hope that you don't put curry in the bagels that you bake for him. Can you imagine? I can just see Farrakhan just going, and say, and Corey, you need a wife. I mean, a real one. Not one with the penis, brother. One with the portal of life. One that has real breasts, not silicone. Because you represent all black men. But you can't do that with the white man's phallus in your mouth. You need truth in your mouth like I have truth in my mouth. Can you imagine what kind of million-man march you're going to have? You only have half. If one is stuck up, the other's behind. You'd only have a 500,000-man march, Brother Corey.
Wow.
I'm trying to double you. I'm trying to increase you. The scripture says, be fruitful and multiply. And you're subtracting and dividing, swirling with the enemies of your people. Please don't be angry with me, brother. I love that man. God.
Yeah, that's good. And we know, Corey did. He said he'll still connect with Farrakhan. Like he's not throwing him under the bus.
That was cool. But you know what? That's going to hurt him with Jews. See, he's in a tight situation. You can't win for losing. You've got to just stand for black.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give this to Brother Malcolm, and I'll give it to Dr. King, and I'll give it to Medgar Evers and all the others that said, you know what, if everybody's against me, I'm going to stand with my people. Okay? Even if they don't understand, I'm going to do it anyway. These days, you know, what will get me on CNN was Simone Sanders looking like Magic Johnson Jr., but uglier than he.
Oh, my God. Yeah, well.
So what I was saying was that Simone Sanders, who looks like she looks like a B-grade version of Magic Johnson Jr. He actually looks better, has nicer clothes, better handbags, shoes, as well as he has a bra that matches, that fits. She needs help. And his hair is longer than hers. Now, come on, sister, you need to beat out a man at something. I mean, drive in the sexual lane that you're in. Don't confuse us. And I was also trashing Cedric Richmond, the little no-good congressman letting his whole district be gentrified, Ward 9 in New Orleans. And he's Joe Biden's campaign chairman. I mean, that's going to go down in flames. And then I started talking about Jesse Jackass. And, yes, I said Jesse Jackass. Now, you know that they've pulled him out of mothballs and Parkinson's disease to try to help Joe Biden. I mean, you got two Bomsky, over the hill, boomer Negroes that need to retire. In fact, I mean, yeah, I'm going to call Biden a Negro. And can you imagine Jesse Jackson saying, Dr. King would want us to support Biden because he's the only one who can move Donald Trump out of the White House. We have had 4 years of ridiculous conduct unbecoming of a president of the United States of America. The economy is bad, although he has lies and has told us things are getting better, but they are getting worse. We are supporting Joe Biden because he has paid me under the table. I believe I can get a pardon for my son, my namesake. The only people I care about are my family, we four and no more. And the check is important. I got one when Dr. King was killed. I would like one now. And you look at did you see him at Aretha Franklin's funeral? He was walking around like a constipated eagle with irritated bowel syndrome. It was just really, sit down.
Wow.
Sit down, sit your ass down. And the only thing good about Aretha Franklin's funeral was that Obama didn't go. I would have just died. The Negroes acting like it was the second coming of Jesus. And who even says he would come back from some of these niggas up in Detroit or anywhere else? A bunch of coons up in there, all falling over themselves for the Clintons. Useless, racist, nasty, Luciferian folks, drug dealers, scammers, frauds. And you know Chelsea's not Bill Clinton's daughter. The only child he's got is the little boy he don't want back in Arkansas. His sorry pedophile ass. Okay, Clinton's one too. Hanging out. In fact, if you've noticed, 2 things have happened I gotta bring up. Epstein, the one that had the little orgy album where they raped the kids. Notice how they're protecting him no matter what.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Notice how that little nasty broad, the one that looked like Dr. Spock with the blowout kit gone mad. Constant, the one that lied on my cousin Bill Cosby, it's come out. She told another dyke that Bill Cosby never did anything to her. In fact, you know what? I thought it was as unlikely for him to be with that ugly thing as Fat Albert to try to get something off Camille Cosby. It's just imaginary. It's never happened. Still have his ass in jail. Did prosecutors and other people destroy the evidence to get him convicted?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a team just filed an appeal last week. Why his chances to get out?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, remember that candy bar called Butterfingers?
Yeah.
It's probably named for Bill Cosby's legal team. Man, they fucked more than Pam Grier in blaxploitation films in the 70s. That many times they fucked up. Okay? How hard is it to get something right when you have an innocent person? Other than they're enjoying all the fees they're getting at Bill Cosby's expense. It's shameful.
Yeah, the PR team I'm kind of suspect. I don't understand why.
Well, that dude is suspect. I mean, he looks like he's got a pack of kiblasa off the back of his head. I mean, he's incompetent. I mean, he was saying Bill Cosby was enjoying being in jail.
Okay.
That's like him saying he enjoys being with the woman. I mean, it's a lie. I mean, look.
Yeah, I don't think nobody really enjoys being in jail. I'm sorry,
No, he doesn't enjoy being in jail. It's
his
wrong.
birthday coming up July 12th too, which is
It's really sad. It's really sad. He shouldn't have been there. But all I can say is to Cosby and the people like that, which is why if I were a trillionaire, I would still do your program if I could. We need to remember where we came from. Don't turn your back on the grassroots people. Don't let them down. In fact, Brother Ron, do you know the sister down in Alabama by the name of Dorothy Gaines?
Yeah, I heard her because of your association with her.
Yeah, well, brother, please interview her. You got to have. She's just catching hell down there, and it's really funny when you're halfway involved. People assume if you have a little bit of name, I don't have much, that you always have resources. No, you don't.
No.
I'm out here. I was like begging to help her last time. I didn't have it. We did get it last month, but this month, damn shit, I'm up the creek.
Right.
In fact, because I helped her, I end up, being short on my end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got to do this month is get this Good Ground, Good Life, and get my organization together, and then just maybe we can do stuff for people. Right now, we're just in beggar mode. Speaking of that, please, Cash App with everybody at my PayPal. I need a miracle in the next week because it's literally in helping Dorothy, it jacked me up. They did something, screwed up my PayPal, which meant I ended up getting all these late fees on other stuff. Damn.
Oh yeah, late fee. Why do they think by giving you late fees they're gonna help you pay out the original fee? I don't understand why. This is insanity, man.
It's designed to take you. It's designed to take your stuff. So.
Yeah. That's what I was looking at. It's crazy, man. What's your Cash App?
It's cash $ capital D lowercase r uppercase r lowercase a lowercase n lowercase d lowercase y uppercase s lowercase h lowercase o lowercase r lowercase t, spelling Dr. Randy short with a $ in front of it. I'm trying to get this. I have two things I've got to do. I've got to pay off a thing or two, and I need to get up enough money so we can go after this fluoride, lead, and some other environmental and health and justice and equity issues here in the city. And I got a couple of young people, and we're not paid by the city. We get no administrative money. We get nothing. But you know what? If I can get these youth interested, we're going to go into the public records office. They have black people's records on the floor, rats pissing on them, silverfish in it. They're destroying everything black in D.C., and they're letting all of our records be destroyed. If a pipe bursts, all kinds of stuff could get lost. And I have a dear friend, I think they're from Tennessee. If not, they're from around here, one or two. This brother was so determined to preserve the black people's history. His name is Clarence Davis. He had stage 4 cancer, and he was afraid that the city, which is against preserving black history. I'm talking about that little dyke coon up in there, the one that looks like Arsenio with no mustache. Yeah, I said it. That they would not fund the preservation of the records. How you hear about the D.C. Emancipation holiday?
Mm-hmm.
This was all created by my friend Clarence, although he gets no credit. He didn't even care. He just wanted to preserve the history of black people in the city.
But do they got this Smithsonian thing with African American History Museum? It's all these millions of dollars.
That's John Lewis joint. That's something else that has nothing to do. That's the Zionist thing. They don't care about the public records. It's regular black people. That thing is eyewash anyway. Now let me tell you something. This thing we're talking today. Today was the beginning or the end of the D.C. race riot 100 years ago.
1919, Red Summer.
They almost killed Carter G. Woodson. They don't talk about the D.C. race riot because the black people, for every black killed, 4 white people died. So they don't talk about that. And the black people beat. They had to bring in the army to protect white folks from black people that weren't going to take it. And they're not celebrating. None of this is coming up. And people like myself, we're completely marginalized in the city because of this. This is why I'm mad at this LGBTQ. All I have to do is put a triangle on. I get all kinds of shit. Just make us think that you suck our dicks. We'll give you a job. But don't tell me you like pussy. Even if you're not getting it. If you'd like to get it, we can't trust you. I mean, it's damn evangelical.
Like, what was like the Stonewall riots? I heard that what really happened was that the police were targeting black gay people, right? That would cause the riots.
Well, look. What these little lying white sodomites ignore is that the Black Panthers came and fought the police for the gays. They won't tell you that. This is why, little black homosexuals are coons. They're liars. They don't even know their own history. I get it. You got raped when you're a kid. You get caught up, but you're still black. Stop drinking white people's piss and their Kool-Aid, making you think that that you're part of that community. No, you're not. So the Black Panthers, Huey Newton, and them spoke out for gays. Black folk did this long, and did the gays protect the Panthers from being killed? No. In fact, there's a white faggot, or at least a black faggot, passing for white named J. Edgar Hoover's helping kill the Panthers who are pro-gay.
I mean, was it like where Richard Pryor did that benefit for the LGBTQ? He criticized them for not being involved in the movement,
They weren't involved in the movement. That was them trying to steal the damn movement.
And now Biden has made this his number one issue, the LGBTQ thing. It's more important than black folks getting reparations or anything else, which is interesting. It's a weird time to be alive, man. I don't know what to make of it. I think Dr. King would have been Me Too'd if he was actually alive. It would have Me Too'd him along with everybody else.
No. The gay people would be against Dr. King,
of course,
unless he agreed to pretend that their movement was more important. By the way, brother, I'm going to send you a link. Are you promoting that film that we did, the Black, White, and Blue film? I need you to send that stuff around.
Well, I mean, I wrote a review and stuff. I wrote a review and sent it out along with some other interviews. I included the promo for it.
Please remind people they are hiding that film still. The people
it's still on Amazon Prime, right? Is it still out there on Prime, or where is it?
It's still on Amazon Prime. It's still on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And for people that don't use Cash App, tell them they can always use PayPal. I'm trying to I need something to test water, and I just decided we're gonna get as many people as possible to get lead tested for lead.
So in the D.C. area or Baltimore?
Because black people poisoned by lead all over. They're poisoned with lead and Flint. That's what messed the kids up. It's the lead in the water. They know this.
So my thing about Flint, though, why are we not more outraged? Like, this is going on almost 5 years that people have known about the Flint situation. Why are we just so complacent with that? Like, or is it the people of Flint? I mean, have you been to Flint?
No, but who was president when the Flint crisis
Obama. But then
Obama put all the gay stuff on television. Obama did all this stuff. So black people will forgive a black sodomite sellout president, and they would rather put Flint on Trump. And I don't know if you saw. Did you see me have the exchange with a coon preacher this morning?
Mm-mm.
I know I texted you. Okay. I put up something talking about Kamala, and this little Negro preacher that's here jumped in and said some shit to me. And, I raised up on his ass. Then he disappeared. Because I said, is this the same preacher in D.C. that runs from activists? His ass disappeared. I could have really just chumped him, but I did. I punked the hell out of him, and then he disappeared after that.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you say anything to me? Okay, how dare you? I mean, he said something about Trump. Now, all of a sudden, this same little nigger preacher who never does anything in the community is talking about what will happen if Trump is president. You're not doing nothing with Obama. It's like, and I wrote that down, you folks only stand up to people that it's safe to disagree with. It's safe to be anti-Trump. It's not safe to be anti-cop.
Mm.
Do you know in D.C. they've been beating up and shooting people here? Yeah, they do. And they've been violating all the rules. The laws of the city are violated. Right?
They're trying to ban go-go music in D.C.?
Well, they're trying. Look, this is just a small thing. I'm saying to you that it's a requirement by law that you maintain records.
Mm-hmm.
So you allow the records to be destroyed. To hell with go-go music. Something's far more important. It's birth records and things like this. We won't even exist 50 years from now. I mean, you can at least record and save the go-go.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the history of blacks in this city.
Justification do for you. Mm-hmm.
I have seen records of my family in the U.S. Census in 1790 here in D.C., in the D.C. area, okay? This stuff, because that's government. I know from being a D.C., doing my master's on D.C. history, how hard it was to find stuff. They've never maintained, they don't care. To hell with black people. You have to understand something, being from Memphis. Most people miss this. Everybody knows about Harlem, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not mad at Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
But before there was the Harlem, there was D.C. Washington, D.C., for 60 years was the largest black community in the United States until it was eclipsed by Harlem.
Mm.
Harlem comes along later. And in reality, in terms of just being mostly blacks from the United States, if we have to use that term, I call does, not a does. Because I say African descendants of enslaved Africans, not slaves. That's bullshit. It would be a non-history major, carpet munching, that vaginosis colored teeth she's got, that would come up with something that's half-assed instead of more compassionate towards people that were held in captivity. And since she looks like she's biracial, she probably doesn't get it as fully as you or I would. And that's with all the damn white folk in my family. Thank God I look black. Oh, I'm so happy. I mean, I'm so happy. I like being the color I am. I've never understood black people who are ashamed of who they are. It's always disgusted me. You can't be anything but what you are. It's like a man called himself a woman. And it's easy for you to, to tear up your backside, but you're still a man. Look at it, I'm a woman. No, you ain't a damn woman. You're deviant. And no, you're not a man. I was working with this political campaign, and my cousin had these two gay women live in the house. And they had a little funky attitude, but one of them says, I'm a man. And I told her, I said, no, you want to be a man. Okay. Says, but if you've ever used Kotex in your life, that's the proven test that you're not a man. Okay, so prove to me you don't have a maxi pad in your purse in case you sprung a leak. We don't leak. Okay, so you should like who and what you are. No, muting the go-go, that's small, and that they don't mind go-go because it's wild. It's never really taken off nationally. It's unsophisticated. And not that I don't, my cousin's one of the pioneer drummers for it. So, shout out to Pancho Cage, one of the pioneer go-go drummers. So, I mean, if you heard him, that's my cousin, my second cousin. And there was one that got killed a few years ago named A.L.L, up-and-coming band leader, shot to death in Temple Hill, Maryland. So I have go-go in the family, but we also have Marvin Gaye in the family. Now, which would you rather have? Marvin with the Motown, with funk strings, all of that, or go-go where most of the shit sounds the same. And this is what I said to my cousin. Look, I'm friends with Paul Reiser, who used to arrange for the Temptations and for the Four Tops and for the Supremes and for all of these great acts. Why can't we come together and we bring some people and really do something with go-go versus it being the same old shit that nobody wants to buy? Their eyes glazed over, and I was like, damn. Think about it. Wait a minute. One of the greatest arrangers of the 20th century could have helped do something with go-go, and it's not interesting. We have very stupid, unprogressive elements in our black community, and it's okay to be dumb and lazy and trifling and backwards. And yes, I'm saying that of the person I'm criticizing the family. Yeah, I said it. Think of it this way. If you had an opportunity as a filmmaker or as a newscaster or whatever to work with one of the best that ever lived, like, let's say, Ida B. Wells or Derniget from Kentucky, would you say no?
No, I'll say hell yes.
So.
I'll say yes.
And you would just say hell yeah, even if I just got to sit and talk to them one time.
Right, it'd be inspiring.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. Nope. I got turned down. It's like,
wow.
and so DC is. I'm telling you, it's a lot like Memphis, except we have the federal government here. It's the same sort of backward mentality. Yes, I'm talking your city because I've lived over in Jackson. It's backwards. It's backwards.
But you proving a point though. Like, you can't escape it. You think you running away from a problem. You're running into the problem. Like, I can't run away from Memphis and go to DC. I'll run into the same problem. They were telling me.
You'll run into the same stuff.
Okay.
And wherever you go, if you go to Miami, if you go to New York, I mean, there'll be coons there. There'll be fighters there. We have the same sickness everywhere that we are as a people, and it's going to take some of the same medicine to change it. So I'm just saying to you right now in D.C., right now in D.C., I'm in the Summer Youth Employment Program. We're helping these folks. Do you know what? When you send someone to me who's bipolar, how come they don't have a way to screen and do stuff? So over the course of these youth working in jobs, you point them to something that's concrete, right?
Yeah.
They get them bullshit stuff, have people cleaning toilets and shit. I mean, anyone could do that. Let the illegals do it. Why not let our kids really learn something like aeronautics or something? And this could be, it's all in the city. These no good, boule, Greek letter, Masonic, Luciferian niggas don't want anything for other black, and no one black like you and me even gets to help. They see us as a threat. I remember applying to work in social services over in Anacostia, and a little gay dude, yes, I'm going to tell you, it keeps coming up. If you're here, you would see it, and you'd realize it's not like I obsess over what people do, but it's so aggressive. The dude called and asked me not to apply for the job. I was more than qualified. He was afraid if I was there then, right? So you would rather not have the best person there so you could be in charge. And everything is about mediocrity until serious black people stage a vicious war against mediocre scum, scammer, fake, no good black people, in particular Greek letter and Masonic, and kick them out of stuff and exclude them instead of thinking we can somehow, the same way we're never going to be able to work with white supremacists, we'll never be able to work with coons and traitors and turncoats. It's never going to happen. They're always going to be enemies. A leopard can't change its spots, and a coon can't change his treachery or her treachery. And that's like pretending that a hose drawers can be a habit for none. Never going to happen.
Well, I heard this conversation with you, Dr. Short. This is amazing. I got to ask you this, too. I got to ask you about this Nipsey Hussle thing. What's your take on it, this phenomenon, this Nipsey Hussle?
3 pieces I'll give.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Government hit. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, people should be as upset about any black person being slaughtered as a important one. 3, Nipsey Hussle's trying to change the system without a clear moral ethical foundation. Yes, I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I see all this Islamism and all of the artists. Hip hop and this stuff is dominated by the black Muslims. Have they brought to us morality, ethics, self-control? Do we have anything to show for this Islamic-dominated art in our community after 40 years? Hell no.
Mm.
We need to rediscover the God of our ancestors. And yes, for all of y'all conscious community people that don't like the name of Jesus Christ, well, figure out how you're going to spend eternity. Your ancestors know where they're going to go. Our people are lost. And so I'm not saying anything bad about the brother. I'm simply saying this. We're a people without laws or without principles. We need them. It's not even practiced in the so-called religious institution called the church. If it were, frauds like T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar would be homeless people on Skid Row.
Mm.
And they should be there. In fact, then he could be his real self and turn tricks for real instead of making us think that he's holy.
Wow.
Jakes. Bitch nigger.
Mm. Okay.
And so I'm glad he did what he could do. I'm glad he hired people. I'm glad that he got out of the game. I'm glad that he was standing up. I'm even glad that he reached out to African Americans, being an African that came over, and that's another reason to kill him. This is what you need to understand. When Africans or African Americans get too close to other people in the diaspora, the government steps in. They don't like it.
That's about Malcolm X. You're right, but his father was Eritrean.
It's not just Malcolm X.
No, I was thinking about Malcolm. Yeah.
No. I want to go somewhere with this. I want to go with the fact that Martin Luther King was going to denounce the United States in 1962 at the UN. And the beginning of the FBI really going after King was because he was going to go and show solidarity with the people in South Africa and Bishop Lutuli.
Mm.
And the Kennedys begged him not to go to the UN, and chump-ass Martin Luther King let himself get hoodwinked. And that's when the Kennedys told J. Edgar Hoover, watch Dr. King, we can't trust him.
Again, Robert Kennedy approved the wiretaps. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Dr. King's internationalism. It wasn't his national civil rights thing that got him. Really, it's the international stuff, because black folks in this country can't do this change alone. Although there are things we must carry our own cross, but even Jesus got a little help from the guy from Cyrene. A black dude from Libya carried another black dude from the Syro-African Valley, a.k.a. Palestine, Israel, got a little bit of help from another brother to carry his cross, dealing with European oppressor, aggressor, occupiers. We're never going to get this without some help from other places.
I know,
and that's my issue with the ADOS folks being so hostile against everybody in the diaspora. We shouldn't be so caught up in being black in the United States to the point where we can't work with people across the world. We need to do it. White power was only important because it's projected internationally. If they were just killing each other back in Europe like they were in the good old days when we were having a golden age in Africa, well, it's only when you're doing it internationally does it really matter these days. So Negroes that are stuck on one country or one person that needs to get their teeth and their hair done. And God, I'm trying to think. There was two people. Remember saying one person looked like a kid from House Party. There's another person that they look like. Actually, she's been looking so bad lately. She looks like Al Jarreau just before he died.
Oh my God!
Forgive me if I'm wrong. Does it?
Well, I know Dr. King. He also did a speech. He did a speech in Ghana back in 1956. Did Dr. King do a speech in Ghana in 1956?
Yeah, Dr. King did a speech in Ghana. Dr. King went to Ivory Coast in 1956.
Right.
He went to Ivory Coast and to Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't what it was. It was when he was going to compare apartheid in South Africa to Jim Crow in the South, which could have opened up the door for the United States to fall under the scrutiny of the Apartheid Committee in the UN. That's when they says this nigga's dangerous. You know, we don't mind him on buses.
Dr. So let me ask you this: do we have friends in Africa like we did back in the day when they were getting independence with Kwame Nkrumah?
We got
we have leaders
now.
like that. Yeah.
We have friends now.
Okay.
The point is, but it's not going to be in the leadership, and the Africans don't have any friends in leadership here. What's that dude? Donald Payne Jr. with the tight pants and the bow tie.
Okay.
I mean, his father was sorry. He's sorry.
Mm.
The compromised leadership in Africa isn't where we should be. In fact, what you just said to me is what these boule niggas do. That, you know, and I even hear these so-called conscious people talk about how they're friends to people in the African government. Who do you think owns those niggas?
The Chinese.
The people don't. No. Look, let me just give you an example so you can understand how deep this stuff is. My cousin was the first U.S. ambassador to the African Union, Dr. Michael Battle. Okay? My second cousin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know when he started talking to me, when I jumped in his ass over Depo-Provera and the Obama government poisoning black people across the continent, then he didn't talk to me anymore because he needed his gig.
Okay.
Because I asked him as a preacher, what's first, God and the people or your career? Obviously, career. I ain't mad at him. That's most black people. So when they're in a governmental structure, a white supremacist system, they are functionally a white supremacist even if they don't want to be one.
Mm-hmm.
You need that check. He who pays the piper calls the tune, right?
Mm-hmm.
A prostitute with your $300 in your pocket is not going to sing Mahalia Jackson's Move On Up a Little Higher unless she's got her legs in the air. And my cousin's a good person. At least I think. I think so.
Okay.
But he can't talk to me. I was bad. I exposed Obama and him over Ebola. So he can't talk. We want your career. Start talking to me. And that's how it is. I mean, Malcolm X, he showed up and please don't speak to him. Dr. King, you can't. If you're caught speaking to him, they won't like us anymore. And little punk ass Andrew Young goes, don't talk to him. We can't even look right. We have to run from each other to curry favor with people who hate our guts existentially. It's stupid. Talk to who I feel like talking to. I'm still going to be a subhuman slave to you. So what difference does it make? In fact, I'd rather be a defiant, I'm not going to kiss your ass subhuman slave than one that's eating the doodle out of your ass like it's soft served at McDonald's.
Jesus.
In fact, they don't really have good ice cream anyway.
I go for McDonald's for the fries, though. It's the fries in the pie. The price for black people is chains. We keep getting them. It's a predictable one. That's the price you get for kissing the ass. It's more chains, more beating, more pain. Please. Black folks make me sick. And yes, if I'm a sadist,
then I inflict pain. They're waiting for the sadist to say, "Oh, did I rape you 500 years? Oh, did I rip up the coochie of your great grandmother? Oh, did I split your dad's back?" No.
Well, Dr. Short, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this, because we just had the anniversary of the Mother Emanuel 9 massacre, and they did a documentary. It came out in Emmanuel, and I went to see I saw the documentary on the anniversary, and basically,
hold on, let me cut you you off.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone that saw it when it came out.
Okay.
And they're white female, and they are just so impressed by it. So I know I don't want to see it. In fact, let me share something with you.
Okay.
First and foremost, when you're a violator, you are not owed forgiveness.
Mm.
The fact that people feel that they are owed forgiveness, not that they're fortunate if they're forgiven, but I am owed forgiveness if I violate you, means that I plan to hurt you again, and I need you to have serial amnesia. Every time I violate you, I need you to forgive me and forget about it so I can keep doing it to you.
Right.
That's what that movie is for. I don't want to forgive anyone, not right now. In fact, let God be my judge, okay? I point everybody to the Acts of the Apostles and the book for all the little religious niggas that want to talk about God and forgiveness. I want to point them to Acts 10. Let me go in my daggone Bible, because I know you got those religious niggas in the Bible Belt that don't read the Bible. What a damn contradiction. I mean, God, I can't stand stupid people. Okay, I really don't. This is why I don't like going to church. I didn't go to church today. and I haven't been, I mean, the only time I've been going to church is funerals. I mean, if you're not dealing with our issue, why am I going there? That's like, it's like going to a vegetarian shop looking for a hamburger.
Oh, man.
What does this say? Okay. It's, where is it? Hold on. Okay, I'm looking for it. I almost have it. Hold on. Where is it? I'm looking at where Simon Peter gets told that he has to hang out with these Romans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is supposedly the first person to really get people to join the church, right? This is right, St. Peter. And if you look at what St. Peter said to the Romans, where is it? Let me get it right here. Hold on, I'm moving here. Okay, check this out. This is in Acts 10 and 27. Peter entered the house. Peter's in the house of the centurion. Basically, he's a Mr. Popo for the Romans that are oppressing his people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was still talking with Cornelius. Many people were there, and Peter said to them, we Jews are not allowed to have anything to do with other people. That's the first thing he says. I mean, this is a person that walked with Jesus, told these people in another race, basically, fuck y'all. I mean, full of the Holy Spirit. Because very aware of what you guys have done to mine. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that Peter went and hurt anybody. Mm-hmm. Peter didn't have this amnesia. Peter's not ignoring the fact that this is a Roman soldier. You're there to kill and oppress my people, right? So, I'm not so thrilled to be in your house. I don't want to be here. But God told me, okay? Isn't it interesting that one of the most faithful people that walked on water had a historical memory of who was enemies to his own people? Mm-hmm. And this is the person that walked with Jesus. Yet these dumb fuck niggas call themselves Christians, and they forgive everybody but one another. That's why we have so many black denominations and all this crap. They can't even come together among fellow believers that are black because they hate each other's guts. And they can forgive folks who are white who massacre them. That's a goddamn lie. Nobody's forgiven anything.
Well, I will say that
because we take it out on each other and we forgive them, which is not true forgiveness. We need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive. Black women need to stop being assholes towards black men, and vice versa. Black men need to stop beating and raping sisters. We need to be honest. We need to forgive one another. Reparations needs to start with how we treat one another. Real religion would be we'd be trading and setting up businesses and empowering each other in the same damn holy book that these niggas say they believe in. What do they do in the Acts of the Apostles? When the Holy Ghost comes down, it's not so much about the tongues, it's about the people sharing resources so they can be independent of people who hate their guts. How come that's not taught by these nigger preachers? They're useless scum.
Now, I want to say, like, when I saw the film, one thing that I liked was some of the people were not in agreement with the forgiveness part. Like, it was one guy who lost his sister, and she got shot 7 times by Dylan Roof. And he said, if you want me to forgive this guy, I want to know what was the shot that killed her. Was the first shot or the 7th shot? You know, I think Dylan Roof was not expecting forgiveness. He wanted a race war, and he was shocked that these black folks went out their way to forgive him within 48 hours of killing their loved one in cold blood. He was shocked by it. I could look at his body language. He wasn't expecting that.
No, Dylan Rolfe wasn't shocked by the forgiveness. Dylan Rolfe was shocked that the white people didn't continue doing what he wanted. That's the real shock. Okay, white folks raised $7 million for him for killing black folks. Have you seen black people raise $7 million for Flint, or for Katrina, or for Baltimore, or for Detroit, or for Newark, or Camden? Is there any damn disaster that we've raised $7 million for that's worthwhile?
Well, we probably gave a lot of money for 9/11. I don't doubt that at all. A lot of black folks gave.
But 9/11 is white people and everybody else. No, I'm talking about our.
No, I'm talking about we are programmed. Well, I'm saying I live in one of the most charitable cities in the country, but yet one of the poorest cities in the country, and we give a lot of money. There's a lot of poor people down here that program to give money to these like places like United Way. The CEO making all this money, like 6-7 figures.
You mean United Gay?
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying, but we program that the forgiveness thing, right? With the Emmanuel people, they program to forgive.
That's not forgiveness. That's idolatry.
Okay.
I point you to Luke 21, where Jesus denounced the widow giving her last penny to a crooked ass system.
That's what we do every Sunday, right? A lot of us do that every Sunday, right?
No. That's where I am. We get this from the little bullshit, chicken shit, and lying ass chicken bone preachers. That they tell you that the widow's mite was a good thing. No, Jesus trashed the widow's mite. He put the bitch down.
Wow.
You're not supposed to give your last when you don't have anything. There's a big ass sanctuary. They didn't need her last cent. She was so busy trying to show that she could lose everything for these sucker fag preachers that they had.
Wow.
Go back and read it.
Wow.
We've been lied to. We get mistaught. That's why I don't like going to church. And the niggas lie. And if you went to a good school, they're looking out like, don't say anything short. And, right?
Yeah, I heard about those seminaries and theologians.
Go to church and be very intelligent. And the preachers look and see, have I duped your ass? Don't say anything. No interpretation, no thinking. The churches keep, not the Bible, not the Holy Ghost, not Jesus Christ who beat people's asses for being crooks in church. Not him, but the fake hijacked religion that tells you that you've got to have stained glass and the pipe organ, and you need an $85 million building in the bombed out part of town that's closed most of the week. Like that punk Joel Osteen. I don't know if you're aware, but Ashira and I, we were the ones that put so much hell on Osteen over closing his church in Houston. He opened that up. I kicked his ass. I'll do it all over again. It's one thing I can't stand, are crooked preachers. It just sets me off. In fact, that dude almost got cussed out, this preacher. I can't process someone that calls himself a religious leader who won't help the people, who won't do, that's like me being a crossing guard, getting people run over.
Right.
I mean, like I said, a hoe sells pussy. A pusher sells dope, right? A fast food place sells bad food. Nigga preacher sells bullshit. I don't get it.
I hear you. Yeah.
So anyway, we weren't supposed to go this long.
No, I appreciate that. We're long overdue, though. Actually, people gonna really enjoy this. I guess they got it.
And I know folk will be mad because.
What? I think people ask you where you preaching on Sunday. I think folks want to go to your church.
Actually, well, we do a conference call.
Okay, tell us about that.
Okay, it's very simple. About 9 months ago, this sister named Latoya was saying to me, because, preachers make me mad. I mean,
well, that's your peer group, right?
I mean, my father's a preacher. He stopped going to church for 20 years. He couldn't stand it. So I know folks who believe in God who can't handle the bull crap that these people are doing, so they don't go. And it's not a reject. I like good gospel music, even if the choir's full of sissies. Just don't flame. Don't have a fluorescent nail polish up in the choir stand. Put this stuff on when you're cruising.
Right.
I mean, just don't force it down. Don't have a dildo hanging out of your pocket. Butch on the organ. That please. That means we in church. Let's make this fake like you believe some of this stuff. But anyway, they're fake people in the club. They're fake people in the gym.
Yeah.
They're fake people at work, so they could be fake people at church, I guess. But real simple. What we did was, she said, stop complaining about these fake people. And I said, what?
I'm not sure. I can't hear you. Like you dropped off. Hello?
Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happened, my brother, is that this sister said, why don't you set up a fellowship? I'll participate. Says I've never, ever tried to be anybody's leader in this way. I've always tried to join stuff, but I couldn't find leaders that could tolerate you having the brains. Don't get me wrong. You see me with Cynthia McKinney, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who's a leader when I'm with Cynthia McKinney? Cynthia McKinney's the leader.
Right.
Female, I don't care. She know more than I do. I can follow a good person worth following. And they're not hostile to me knowing something. To go to church, they need everybody illiterate. That's why men don't go to church. They don't want their balls cut off. They get cut off all week. It gets cut off by some effeminate nigga with a skirt on. Who gets paid 10% of your money too, and they cut your balls off. Please. At least at work, they're giving you money. At church, they take your money and they cut your balls off too. Nobody wants that. That's why niggas rather shoot basketball. Rather stay home, rather watch football than deal with some fake nigga who your wife or your girlfriend can't see. That nigga's more bankrupt and more and more bootleg than a $16 bill. I mean, who wants that? It's insulting. So anyway, what happened? I got a couple, and what we do is we share. In fact, you should come on the call. Not that we have that many people. We normally have 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 or 7. I was doing it on Facebook, but Facebook will mess with and shut it off. It's amazing. Wow. They're doing everything to prevent people from communicating, but to a handful of folks. But so what we call ourselves, the African American Reformed Church, or Salvation and Liberation Temple, because you need to be saved from stuff that messes you up, and you need physical liberation from racism, from self-hating coons, right? And so our goal is to establish a parachurch. And parachurches exist. The Mennonites and these other people, they're religious, but they take care of business. You'll never see a homeless Mennonite person, a hungry Mennonite person. You mean we can't do the same thing? So that's what we decided to do. And at present, we've got 2 businesses. If we can get a contract, I would think between now and September, we'll start hiring people. Stop asking people for 10% if you can't guarantee them employment. In fact, we're not going to ask them for 10% because tithes are unbiblical. There's no reference to tithes in the Acts of the Apostles. That's a fraud, too. You don't owe those niggas 10% of anything except your fist up their ass.
They probably enjoyed it,
you
too.
owe them 10%. 10% of your rage to kick their ass for the bullshit that they pull. Now, yes, it says give, but if you go back and you read it, you can give more than 10%. In fact, in Acts 2, it says they gave according to each person's need. If you needed 100% of your money because you're broke, you didn't give anything. If you needed 50% of your money to take care of your business, then you gave 50%. If you're supposed to give as God blesses you, not for it to be a religious tax for a bunch of folks, queens that want to wear alligator shoes and mess with little kids to get your cash, and you can't pay your light bill. And in fact, the last time you could afford tuna was like 2 months ago, and you've been eating ramen. Those are only black folks you see in shape are the ones who can't afford to eat, giving all their money to these nigger preachers. So we're in rebellion against that. I hate that. I've hated it my whole life. I'm 54. I've been hating bullshit in church since I was 1 or 2 years old. I've been seeing it. I mean, pedophiles, everybody. It's like, damn, and I have seen very few places where folks really want to see the people come up. Instead, they want to keep them down. The pastor, he's going, well, next week we'll be going to Japan. You haven't even taken the niggas down to the mall or to a museum. And the church's been around 100 years. I mean, but you go all over the world. Their kids are going to Harvard and Yale, and the other people's kids are going to jail. I'll give you an example. There's a little mega preacher nigger up here in D.C., Granger Browning. Granger Browning's son got busted for selling drugs down when he was in Atlanta. And he got Jesse Jackson and all these other people to help his ass, right? But for my friend who got framed for simply doing his job, they wouldn't even write a letter for an innocent man. But for your drug-dealing son, you get the heavy guns out. This is a kind of crappy stuff that people do. It's only for them. The church is a business. It's a Ponzi scheme that cheats the masses and only serves a few. This is what Jesus was denouncing in Luke 21 about the widow's mite and how stupid it was for this woman to give her last. And she's going to go home and die because she's broke. But she gave it to some crooked-ass people that don't need it. T.D. Jakes is making $10, $12, $20, $30, $40, $50 million a year. Why would he need 10% of a woman on Snap's money? That's insane. He's insane. And folks who follow him are insane. Creflo Dollar, he needs a jet. No, that nigga needs a jail cell with no Vaseline. That's what he needs. For what he's done to the people down there, all the disasters in Atlanta, all the HIV AIDS in Atlanta, all the homelessness in Atlanta, all the suffering in Atlanta, and this nigga needs a $64 million jet. Let me tell you something. I love planes. I love flying. And if I had the opportunity to have a plane, let me tell you what I would do. If I did have people that were willing to buy me a plane, let me tell you what I would do, brother. I would get a refurbished jet. And I could probably get it for maybe a third of the price, for maybe $15, $16 million, right? And then I would take the other money and put that in the fund to help people get their houses, right? Or set up businesses. You can actually get something and share it. It's winner take all with those niggas. They want everything and nothing for the people, because if you keep them down, let me tell you something. You can go to divinity school. Do you know they have classes and teaching you how to set up a mega church? Did you know that? And it is a strategy to break people financially. And what happens is when it comes time for you to expand, because they know they've psychologically done all the things. They've learned that people get excited about building because we care about bricks and mortar, not about people. So what you do is you have like a 5 to 10 year plan, and then you can have a new building. And by the time people have been burnt out fundraising and starving their kids and neglecting their family, a certain number of people are going to drop off and won't be able to come because they've been exhausted in the building project. Then you have to get new people. So you get a new praise leader and all this kind of stuff to bring a new group of suckers in. And once you get them built up to the point, you build something else. And you keep building, and that keeps people under control. They're constantly baking pies, frying chicken, frying fish, doing fundraisers, selling chocolate to keep them busy. They don't get to go to college. They don't get to read. And they think doing all this shit is going to save their soul. No, my friend. For Christians, at least, it's Christ and Christ alone. Everything else is bullshit, a lie, and a fraud. You don't need anything else. You don't have to give the dude your money. You don't have to buy the prayer cloth. You don't have to have the holy water Kotex stuck up inside of you. You don't need any of that. Okay, you don't need the consecrated drawers. You don't need, that's garbage, that's sales, that's Pharisaism, that's Sadduceeism. None of this has anything to do with what people are supposed to be doing. In particular, who's the first martyr of the church? Stephen. Why is Stephen so popular, aside from being the first person killed talking about Jesus, was that Stephen was in charge of handing out the money. And he wasn't a racist, he didn't steal, and everybody got a check. The first martyr was a person who wasn't obsessed with money, who didn't care. His thing was helping poor people. I'm not taking no money for myself. I don't care what color you are. If the money comes here and we're going to take care of the widows and the poor people, that's what we do. Compare that to the preachers of folk you have now who spend all the money on themselves. Like I heard about the pastor of this mega church, they did a $200,000 renovation on their kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
On a kitchen, not just one. You could just the kitchen. You realize that's a house if you know how to buy. A kitchen needs that much money. Okay, this boggles the mind. In fact, if you have $200,000 to redo your kitchen, you're a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that your people are homeless and you're a multimillionaire? Did the Apostle Paul have a mansion? Did James have a mansion? Did John have a mansion? Did Jesus have a mansion? None of these people were filthy rich. What is this beast? And our people can at least afford. These are the same people. Our community has been completely demobilized and depoliticized by these same coon preachers who have this cushy setup, this religious hustle that keeps the people down, just like what was happening in the days of Christ with the fake-ass Talmudic Jewish tradition. And that's what facilitated the Romans, a.k.a. the white people of that time, to screw over the black people, the Hebrews of that time. And that's what we got right now. Now, so what does that mean? Can't change the world. You can only help a few. So we few get together and encourage each other. We pray, and in fact, now and then we can help people. You get where I'm coming from? Sometimes we can do something for one another. Like, we didn't have a lot, but when Sister Dorsey was busted last month, I think we probably spent about $600-700 her way, as poor as we were. Now, I know mega churches, people's asses get set out, and folk don't do anything. We're only talking about 4 or 5 people. And trust me, I don't have it. So I was out begging. You saw me begging. I wish I had it. In fact, so we got to do something about Dorsey, man. I should tell people her cash app because she's catching hell. I really wish I would. That's the reason that we want to have our own businesses. So when it's a problem, like what initially happened, you can just help people. You can say, hey, look, we'll pay the when my father had a church, that's what they did. If somebody was sick, you didn't look and say, I don't know how you go to the hospital bill. You paid the damn bill for people. This is what's supposed to happen with that money. You and I know that's not what happens with the money.
Right.
And so, let me see. I'm trying to think. Where is this? See if I can find the number. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull the number up so you're not going to hear me for a second, but I'm going to give you the number. And people should reach out to our administrator, the sister that said we need to just have something. And by the way, it's black only. if you're white, please don't call. We're not mad at you. Just we want to be amongst ourselves, okay? If you're a swirler, swirl where you are supported and your efforts to assimilate. We're trying to find other black people who understand what's going on with us. And no, we don't preach hatred against anybody, but we do preach love for yourself first. The scriptures say a man that doesn't care for his own kind is lower than the barbarian. And that's absolutely the situation of black people right now in this country, in particular those that claim to be religious. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, now let me give you a number. Mm-hmm. And what people can do is they can email me if they want to. My email is the same as my PayPal. And no, we don't constantly talk about money either. Although I do have a couple of people, they drop some stuff on you, which is not a whole lot, but a little bit. It helps you get stuff done. So I'll tell you, Jews don't ask for money in the synagogue. You give it once in a year. You know what you're supposed to give. It's a set amount. You keep moving. I getting shook down. I think in the church they have like 10 offerings.
Yeah.
They have more offerings than they have people sitting up in there. Okay. Now, if they want to call in, normally what they need to do is take my email. It's wrandyshort@gmail.com. wrandyshort@gmail.com. Now, let's be clear. Email me. Let me know who you are, where you're calling from, and I'll get a number to you. We had a person that was with us, but, I don't know what it is, so we don't need millions of people. We're trying to find a few. Mm-hmm. We don't have a whole lot of time, and since it's over the phone, it's not going to be like where you meet with people, okay?
Right.
But we're there. We communicate. We do what we can do. And eventually, I guess if we meet enough people here in D.C. and other places, folks come together and support each other. We had a situation where a person was claiming that people weren't reaching out. I'm trying to think, hell, if we call you enough, you call, email you enough. A lot of Negroes bring drama and confusion. Right. And yes, I'm always honest because, a lot of sisters are toxic. We've got to have this discussion. Mm-hmm. I work with youth. If the father's not there and the kids are completely screwed up, where'd they get it from? And we need to be able to talk about that. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad the mother is there, but if she's toxic, then she messes the kids up. And we've got to be able to have this discussion. A lot of this toxicity is in all our institutions everywhere. We had some toxicity from someone trying to create fights between the different sisters and things. Where does this come from? Imagine someone thinking that you're going to call them at 2 a.m. to talk about the Bible. I mean, wouldn't a husband want to blow the person's head off? You from Memphis? I'm not going to call you in the middle of the night. No, I'm not. Right. I'm really not. I mean, if you're in another country, well, hell, I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you. Just what is someone supposed to do? I can't. Anyway, pray for people. A lot of folks are very quick to feel mistreated or hated, or they bring a whole mountain of things that they've been through and they apply it and project it on the people who have no desire to do anything to harm. They just want to try to move forward. And that's something, but anyway, we're moving forward. We've got a license to do catering. We've got a business that can do green cleaning. We've got this youth project. And if we can get it done, once we can get a meeting, we're going to get some project to fight against opioids, a holistic thing to try to do things to put some of our people together. That's with counselors, activities. We know the people, the biggest problem is we don't have the funding. Mm-hmm. We'll get it. Mm-hmm. And so, and it says faith without works is dead in James 3. So people who, I hear about all these doggone Christians. If there's so much Christianity and so much faith, why is there so much misery in our community? You get where I'm coming from. And by the way, let me just tell you Cash App for folks. They need to look up Dorsey Gaines. This sister's catching hell. Dorothy, let me see, what is she? $ Dorothy, capital D-O, lowercase O-R-O-T-H-Y-N-G. If you can send that sister something, she's fighting eviction, she's being punished, got thrown in jail 7 years for a crime she didn't commit, and I'm certain there's all kinds of residual damage and toxicity on the family because of that. If I had it, I'd give it. Last month, I know about $400 came through my hands that I gave to her. I did not keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I broke as hell. I don't know folks who help other people when they barely have themselves. And so they're calling me now. I've been like exhausted. I told you that all these people killed. The woman that jumped off the bridge to try to kill herself. I don't know what's happened with that. People have no idea. When you help black folks, that stuff is exhausting, even if you're doing a little bit.
Right. I understand, Dr. Short.
Yeah, and so I mean, you help someone. Yeah, I mean, I bust my ass to get this little bit of money for a sister. It probably wasn't enough, but my brother, if
it's
my
something,
brother,
though.
I had to work. I busted it to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't right now. I'm not in a position to bust and run, dude. Not at this particular juncture. We're going to have to come together. Those of us that want to survive as a people, and those who don't want to, are going to be flushed like the people in Noah's Ark story. Okay, they didn't get it. Noah kept preaching to them. And there had to be black people, hard-headed people who see all the signs. Well, you know what? Screw you. You're the same color as me. You don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
Then when the water's coming, I want to break. I want you to ignore all the stupid stuff I said and did, and help me now that I will. And actually, we will have this purging in our community. It's coming. Mm-hmm. It's going to come through the septic gonorrhea that can kill in about a week. They're promoting all this sodomy and all this other crazy behavior in our community when we don't even have the health infrastructure like white gays have and others to sustain what's happening. And so you're going to see it. I mean, all you need is something like the bubonic plague or yellow fever, something to hit places like Skid Row in L.A. that's going to kill a lot of black homeless people. And by the way, I don't want the people to be homeless. I don't want them to get killed. I'm mad at people like Bishop Charles Blake, who can fight for gay marriage, but can't fight for homeless black folks. Now, what do you think Jesus would want him to do? Help promote sodomy or help people that were poor in need? You know, it's academic, right? So here at some point, in fact, black folks have to have a rebellion against the boule. In fact, I was talking to this pastor here, and he explained it. You can't get a large church in D.C. as a minister unless you are a Mason, unless you are a Greek. You can't, no matter how much you love God, no matter how popular, no matter how well you sing, nothing. Have you taken the oath to one of these secret societies or you're not in? Period. And I was just sharing with someone how this Masonic dude cussed me out when I told him I wasn't going to be able to go to their intake meeting when they were going to pay for me to become a Mason. And the guy went from being nice to saying, "Who the hell do you think you are? They told me you were arrogant. You are arrogant. You are arrogant, Short. You're never going to be anybody." And I was thinking, all I said was I wasn't able to go. I didn't say, it's no. You're arrogant. They told us you were arrogant. Arrogant? I mean, so they went and did a background. Oh yeah, he'd be a good Satanist if we could just get him to stop arrogant. All I was saying is, I'm not able to make this meeting. And he says, do you know who's going to be there? You're going to open your eyes and see presidents. So I'm going to see George Bush. I don't think I want to see an old pedophile. I'm almost glad his ass is dead. And Barbara Bush, whew. Oh my God. Is she still alive? Did she die?
No, they both died last year. They both died last year.
Oh yeah, praise the Lord. Let's just praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Lift our hands to heaven. Okay, right. I mean, she I'm telling you, that woman looked like a crash dummy.
Mm. Well, you know, do you believe she was the daughter of Aleister Crowley? You think that's true?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, God.
She looks like him,
Oh, man.
and she hates black people like he did. So why not? Why do we believe the best in people who hate us? You know, I'm not Marvin Sapp. I don't see the best in people that hate me. I only see what I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
That's called equality. Do you realize when you're as crazy as the next person, they'll often sit down? Look at how the president of North Korea is getting so much respect from Trump.
You know what? Trump better be careful with that Bolton cat, though, man. That Bolton cat like the devil, like.
Yeah. Well, look, Bolton is a predator. Did you hear that he would have people gang screw his wife at Bohemian Grove?
He looked like he's the type of person. I don't see a mustache he got.
He's a nasty person. Yeah, well, that mustache looks like a cave woman's vagina that half the stuff can cut off. I mean, just talk about him. Okay.
He's a cartoon, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of cartoon character. So, man,
and I mean, he gives bad grooming a good name. He just looks terrible, and he looks like he has dandruff on his clothes and everything.
But those type of people live forever, though. He's like those, like Kissinger.
Look,
they type people
he lives forever. The
Mm-hmm.
reason he lives forever, I'll tell you something. The same niggas that forgive, they pray for these people. Now, I pray that God kill some of them. Give that bastard a stroke, an aneurysm, colorectal cancer.
Wow.
I think I told you the story. I had this argument. I mean, I was so angry with Donald Payne Sr.
Okay.
I didn't tell you about that?
That's the HBCU guy?
No. This was a congressman from New Jersey, from Newark.
Okay.
I didn't tell you? Oh, my God. This is a real story, and I'm going to stop here.
Okay.
I went to there was something for the Congressional Black Caucus up at Howard University back in 2011, 8 years ago. And I wanted to talk to Donald Payne because of the stuff I saw in Libya with Cynthia McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there, and I noticed, well, a couple of things happened. There was a Negro that was the Undersecretary of Agriculture. His name is Joe Leonard. He's a friend of Jesse Jackson. He's Omega Psi Phi. He graduated from he saw me and got scared. And it's not like I'm nobody to be afraid of, Ron. I'm nobody.
Okay.
I'm just he got scared, was afraid, was mad. I think, what is people scared of me? Well, they're afraid because I'll be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, if you go to school, you get a doctorate or whatever, people expect you to join the team where you destroy. In fact, success for black people means stabbing the poor, underprivileged black people in the back, turning against them and hating them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you're successful, okay?
Mm.
That's what success has been for a long time. And that's our definition. That's what crossing over. Actually, it should be called cross away. Because you're a cross off. You cross off your people and you go somewhere else. And that's success. When you leave your people behind and you go after the other people who hate you and your people's guts. And somehow they kind of tolerate you more than the others. That's success for us.
Mm.
Anyway, he slipped out the side door of the Ira Aldridge Theater at Howard where they're holding their event. I went out the front door to cut him off. And to ask him, is he following what's happening in Libya? The slavery, the rape, the mass murder, the Tuaregans, all this. And he's looking at me so uninterested when he was the person supposed to be covering Africa for Congress and the Congressional Black Caucus.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so they're raping black girls, cutting them off, and literally using their breasts to spell out the word whore. It's really awful stuff they were doing. And you know what he said to me? Oh, well, these things sort of happen.
Mm-hmm. Wow, he just said like that.
Yes, he did. I snapped.
Well, you know, that's crazy. When you say that, I'm thinking about 30 years ago, we had somebody like Mickey Leland who risked his life for people in the diaspora. They killed him. They killed him, right. They left him to die on that mountain. He was still alive. Just let him die.
What?
And Sheila Jackson Lee got his seat, right? Is it Sheila Jackson Lee's seat now? That's the seat she got, Mickey Leland?
His seat.
Wow.
She got the seat.
That was downgrade, wasn't
it? She got the seat, and Donald Payne got the Africa position.
Wow, that he had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, drunk ass. Now, let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
So I went, and I said, these things sort of happen. I asked him, what the fuck does being a black congressman mean if you won't protect black women and girls, sir?
Mm.
I'm not asking you to lose your pension. You could call President Obama and tell them to go light on our women and girls. That's nothing. Okay, you want to get rid of the regime, but do you have to murder our women and girls and rape them?
Mm.
That doesn't concern you?
Mm-mm.
Says, what does it mean to be a black congressperson? And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm militant. I want too much to think that black women getting raped and killed and people being burned alive is something that should be okay. Okay?
Mm.
This is how these people are here in D.C. So when you hear me going off, it's because these people don't give a damn. They grin at you when they go home, but when they come here, they kiss white people's ass and they stab you in the back. And I said to him, you could make a call to President Obama, who's funding all this killing, and they'll modulate how they're handling the black people there.
Mm-hmm.
I says, but you won't do it. And I said to him, Congressman Payne, is there a genocide in Africa that's happened on your watch that you didn't like? Damn. Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Sierra Leone, Liberia. I says, all of this with you, I mean, now you're going to let this happen again? I mean, and he said something, oh, well, it's going to be, and says, no, it's not going to be right. Says, you know what? Says, you don't have another year to live, Congressman.
Mm.
God's going to strike you down. You won't make another 12 months. God's going to kill you. You've had enough time. You could have done something at any given time. And then his staff came up. I'm not threatening him. I wouldn't touch him. He's known me for years. I'm not going to do anything to anyone. He's wrong. He knows he's wrong. I'm not asking him to do something that's out of the ordinary. I'm asking something that's quite ordinary to do. He'd do it if they were Jews.
Mm.
And he says, so he could call my office and says, yeah, I'm going to call your office to humor yourself, but you're not going to live another year, Congressman Payne. God's going to kill you. He died 11 months later.
Wow. Did the Secret Service come and investigate you? Did they ask some questions? So what? I didn't put a hand on him, and he died from colorectal cancer. It would be up his ass. Oh, wow.
And now his punk ass son is in his office.
It's nepotism as
and all these people getting killed in Mali and Nigeria, nothing. Nothing. I might like the ADOS thing, but I care about folk. They're being slaughtered in Haiti. Nothing.
But that's the Clintons are the feudal lords down there, right?
The point is that, you know what, you can do something. You can do something. You can always do something if you're in a position. Look, my friend, I don't have any money to help these youth. We're going to find a way to get some money to help these young people. We took these people down to the National Archives, and one of these brothers found out that his great-great-grandfather was a king from Samoa.
Mm.
He didn't even know his name until we took him down there.
Wow.
We changed his life on one day of going to work. He knows the name of this. All this stuff he found. That he comes from nobility in Samoa.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I had it, I know as a teacher, I told you I always got fired. I wake a couple of people up, then they get you out. They don't let you work with youth if you can wake them up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You're right about that.
Now I'm looking, you're a congressman. Y'all can do some of this stuff. Adam Clayton Powell got stuff done. How come you niggas? Because they don't care. They don't want to do. And these same people are fighting for the illegals. They're fighting for gays. They're fighting for the Zionists. And but we're not worthy of it. And until black people forgive me, I don't want any forgiveness right now. I want some hatred, some righteous indignation of hatred of injustice and incompetence and treason in our community. If we had some hatred for what is evil and what is wrong, we'd get somewhere. We're never going to get anywhere forgiving everybody. I mean, these folks want you to forgive them before they stick the dick in you.
That's crazy. You have way words, man. I tell you. You tell some stuff that people need to hear. And we need to hear, especially.
So anyway.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Short, for your time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, and absolutely. If folks want to call in for the salvation and liberation, what we basically do is we do stuff from the scripture, but we also have conversations. We have speakers. We have Larry Pinckney. If folks want to talk about something pertinent in our community, one would love to have many people, but if we just have a few and we're being true, great. And I would say something else of this Salvation and Liberation Temple, this pushback against the Equality Act. This small group, a handful of us, we're not even organized, we're not even institutionalized yet as a group. We were the spear tip of fighting against the Equality Act. 5 of us.
This is a Gone Too Far movement? You're gone too far?
Yeah.
It's still like, what's going on?
Well, right now I stepped away from them because I got to do something with our youth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our youth. And my goal now is something I've never done. I've got friends all over the world, but I don't have anything here in my hometown.
Right.
D.C., if you're kind of different, you don't fit in. I don't sound like a Washingtonian to people. It doesn't matter if my family's been here 400 years. I come across as being from Ohio, wherever they think I'm from. I have to find a base of at least 10 to 20 to 30 people that one can work with. And if we had 10, 15 people here on one page about doing stuff, we can flip the whole country. Okay? We can. Mm-hmm. We could flip the whole country. As I said, and I told someone, if some of us were making $40,000 a year, and as much as I'm not greedy, and I could take the bus and go to Save-A-Lot and so forth, right? It's not about having a Lexus or a Benz. I've never owned a car, and I'm 54, and I may never own a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about stuff. Although you do need money to live, you do need the 401k, but and I know other people where we want resources, but it's really not about greed. In fact, I can be real happy with a larger yard. Then I have more places to pour my piss on my plants and my veg. Oh my God, my okra was coming up so big. Oh my God, I got tomatoes everywhere. If you want to have a good growing thing, get yourself some tomato seeds and pour some piss on it. See how big those things get. I've got a tomato plant. I have a tomato plant. One of them is 5 feet tall. One that's 4.5 feet tall. I mean, I start putting pee on this stuff. It's been down like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. This stuff is like shooting up. What we need in reality, brother, in the Bible, it's called koinonia. Koinonia is a type of African collectivism.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need socialism. We don't need the little pervert named Marx or racist named Engels, atheistic Satanists.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a theistic system where you believe in a God that provides and looks out and protects his own, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people show that they believe in God by how they take care and treat one another. And you don't have to have everybody agree with you. Most folks will never get to where I am, and I don't mind. I'm not looking down on them. That's what they're going to do.
Right.
But there's a narrow path where people can work together. It's the same way, Brother Eddie Catherine down in Mississippi. I know you know him.
Eddie.
The first black mayor since Reconstruction.
Okay.
You haven't heard of him?
Eddie we said
the one. Catherine.
I know Charles Everett. I don't know the other guy. But go ahead.
No. So that you need to know him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good story. You need to talk to that brother. I'll hook you up. I always like to share information.
Mm-hmm.
There are black folks with farms in Mississippi. If we could get people to buy and invest in our black farmers, even in small areas, we could turn our whole race around, or at least the part of the race that wants to be turned around. Those that want to burn in hell or that want to belong to a burning house, let them do it. But here's my motto to everybody. The one thing about being in the burning house is that they always have lots of sheep because they're Klansmen. If you ever want to come out, snatch a sheep and walk the hell out of there. There's going to be other people to join you.
Dr. Short, thank you so much for this commentary. It's very powerful and timely conversation, post Juneteenth and right before so-called the nation's birthday. So it's a very timely conversation.
And remember something, this is also two things. And there was a prophecy by a man by the name of Samuel Chase who owned a newspaper called the Washington Bee. And the Washington Bee covered one of the biggest mass rape pedophilia stories in history that you don't hear about that happened in D.C., where a white man claimed that he raped 5,000 black girls.
Wow.
That's his testimony. And Du Bois and other people helped them. See how these bushy niggas are? They always sell us out. And D.C. blacks were mad. And Samuel Chase had said that St. Louis today, East St. Louis today, D.C. tomorrow. Get guns. They're coming for us. We're next. And literally 2 years to the week that they started doing genocide in East St. Louis. In fact, you know what? We need to do a special interview. Remember we did East St. Louis? We need to do the D.C. race riot. Come on, let's do that.
Yeah, it happened in 1919, right? It's the Red Summer, right? So
yes,
it's right up there.
It's the first. It's the first. They tried Chicago because blacks lost more in Chicago. In D.C., black people won. So you don't hear about it. See how they do history? Yeah. Remember? They came to South Carolina, South Carolina, the black people wiped them out. So you start Jamestown almost 100 years later. History has to be, because they can't handle truth or reality. And so, yeah, we need to covenant to get that done between now and the 4th of July. I know you're a busy man, but I know I'm not, So, yeah, let's see what we can do. We got to have a discussion of the D.C. race riot. I can tell you about this little white pervert that was having naked pictures taken of black children right down to Smithsonian.
So this happened like 100 years ago, this white dude.
Yes, 100 years ago, absolutely.
And he never faced any jail time for his crimes. Alleged crimes.
He did less than a year.
Raping 5,000 black girls.
That's what he said. He basically put his tongue in 5,000 black girls' coochies. This is what he said.
I got to check this out. Okay, wow. Samuel Chase, Washington.
It's not going to be easy to find.
Okay.
This remains. It's in the D.C. It's in the National Archives in Bethesda, and it's. But anyway, I know about it because I wrote about this over 20 some odd years ago. Wow. Let me see. 93 or 94. 25 years ago? I did one of the first papers on it.
Okay.
And I don't know what the original paper is, but I will tell you, we can have one of those, and we got to just tell the story. And so, yeah, you're gonna need some pictures, right? But they'll always tell you about Chicago, but they won't tell you that D.C. folks did revolutionary urban warfare. The United States military started studying urban warfare after the black people beat the white people's ass here 100 years ago. The foundation of urban warfare studies in the United States started off of how black people resisted white people here, and they won. They won't teach you that. Okay? So, yes, treat me white. Let's do this in the next day or two. And trust me, in fact, we need to promote this one with some questions. I don't know if you have people call in.
I ain't set up like that yet, but I hope to get there. I'm just like, there's a lot of stuff going on. But I would like to get to that point where I help call in. I know people like to talk to you about your perspectives. But also, you had good shows with the brother Patrick out of St. Louis, Misery. True Power is Mine. Oh, that's the show?
Okay, well, whatever. I mean, I will go wherever you go. I'll take you where I can go. But you got to meet Brother Eddie Casson. That's the brother they threw in jail for taking over a city in Mississippi. The first mayor since Reconstruction. He was a mayor before Evers got it.
They always say Evers, but he was actually the first.
No, Evers wasn't the first.
Not only the guy you're talking about, but they always give credit to Charles Evers, though. A lot of times I read.
They give credit to Charles Evers because Charles Evers didn't do what this dude. They took it with guns when the white people wouldn't let them have it legitimately like they're supposed to have done it. The other thing is he's first cousins to Emmett Till, making him one of my cousins. To show you how small the world is.
Wow. Dr. Short, thank you so much. In the words of Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing. The Cash App is Dr. Randy Short. So y'all make sure to contribute.
Absolutely. And also you need to push it, brother. And I'm telling you, we need to form a guild so the independent media people getting squeezed can still make it.
Yes, I know a lot of it. Yeah.
Before they pull everything off, they're squeezing you. They're squeezing Jeannie, irritated Jeannie.
Oh, of course they are. Yeah.
Everybody that speaks up, everybody, they have to silence us. We're the so-called Russians that they're worried about. And it says, I know I'm a black matzo ball, but I'm actually Belarusian. I am Belarusian by background, which I'm a little Russian, not a white Russian, okay? So anyway, if they're going to do this stuff, get the damn genealogy right. You know, that shit pissed me off. I am not a Muscovite. My folks would be from Minsk or one of the little shtetls where everybody has Tay-Sachs.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Good night. Good morning, bro.
Yes, sir. One love.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.